All right, 4 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get the drainage committee meeting started. Let the record reflect that all members are present besides Mr. Patterson. Item number 1, request approval to move forward with the Murray drainage project.
Well, a while back, we requested the descriptions of some of these projects, different engineering firms. And, at the time, I said that I saw that Providence Engineering had a very good explanation of corrections in the Murray drainage project. They even exceeded some of the things that I didn't even think about doing to make it successful. I would like to put them on contract for that project.
Who's that?
Providence Engineering, yeah.
It doesn't work.
Oh,
It was scored and they did not score the highest, so they didn't
No,
get
but
selected.
their scoring with me was high because of.
You were only one of the 5
The
scores.
other engineering firms did not indicate the corrections for that project as well as they did. Now we'd like to hire them.
You can't. You can't pay, you can't pay federal funds for somebody that didn't score the highest on the RFQ process. 4 other jurors were part of that scoring, so if y'all want to
all right,
elaborate.
so
That's what I did.
we got the scoring done on that already. Let's move on to item number 2.
Not
Request
tomorrow.
approval to move forward with removing trees on the Lower Texas Canal.
We had the Himalaya Canal out to bids. I don't know if he's referring to that as part of the lower Texas, but that is out to bids right
Yeah,
now.
with that too.
What you got on that, Mr.
Well,
Bro?
I'd like to pull the damn trees off, put them on a level like we've done the other day with a few other canals. And then if we can't do it in that one, don't do it in any of them. We don't really want us to move them and do all kind of crap with it, and it's stupid.
We had a pre-bid meeting this morning.
Yeah.
Charles was in attendance. We had
No,
several,
we're happy.
several contractors there. We currently have a bid date of, August 27th. With regards to the Mare project as it was scoped under our contract, not referring to the RFQ that put out. We have a projected bid date on that one of September 19th. And that's all I have on those 2 projects. When we had our pre-bid this morning, we had several contractors show up. They had questions, we answered them. And we'll be keeping you updated.
So the Lower Texas Canal is going off the bid.
The Himalaya, we call it the Himalaya Canal, but I believe that's what he's referring
Yeah.
to.
It is the lower Texas, because Himalaya comes up going to Supreme. Because Supreme was called Himalaya.
We
Back
basically,
in 35, when it burned, they changed it to Supreme.
what's out for bids right now is basically from the end of Georgia Road, or basically where I want to say the agricultural field meets the marshland, going south to the lake. There's a boat launch, about approximately midway. The base bid is to clean from that boat launch to the lake, and then an alternate bid, to clean from the boat launch to just behind the tree line at where the agricultural field ends.
And so if it's off a bid, it means.
It's out for bids, and the bid date on that is August 27th.
We can bid from that.
What you want to do, Mr. Bro?
Shit, anything y'all wanna do, like y'all running the damn thing, the room.
All right, you requested that Mr. Sawwell was the engineer on that, so good job, Joe. Keep going. All right, moving on. Item number 3, request approved to extend Maury Canal to Fertilia Lane and change the back culverts. Who put this on? You got that, Mr. Bro?
Well, no use doing anything, they don't wanna do anything.
All right, no action.
Road extended, it's extended because nobody knows what's the area of the Mare. It seems as though some engineers think it stops at Oakley Road, it doesn't. It goes further, and at one time it went to Goshen Canal.
Did anybody go look at this?
No, they didn't, I guess. I did, I've been looking at it, I've been living it.
Mr. Sawwell never went and look at
I
it with
doubt
you?
it, I don't know.
On Perry Street?
Was that?
Not pin up.
Well, the damn canal is too daggone small in one area, it's about this wide.
To Fertitta.
Fertitta, I mean, we could look at it. We've gone
Yeah,
over
look
this
at it.
with Mr. Bro, his predecessor, the drainage department. Everyone has looked at these plans. A lot of the work has been done in-house. We've modified those
How
plans.
much money we have allocated to these projects?
Should probably nothing, no?
You want to extend that?
Well, it's on the agenda then. No action, no action.
No action.
No
You see
action.
anything, Kim? What's
I mean,
out?
look on the drainage report, it's got a lot allocated to this area. In the Ward 4 projects. I can't tell you what that phase 1 is. I don't know, you know, there's got hope of them.
So. Joseph, what you estimating the bids to come back at? On these projects?
Himalaya. We had what is known as the Lower Texas and the Maury projects, you had approximately a total budget of 1.6 million between the two.
All right, so he got $18,000
That's only the local. He's got an allocation. We're gonna make
of what?
1.6.
that number.
At least $1 million.
That's what he's saying.
It was like
Spread
1.4.
it around, the original estimates were around 1.6. Now, I know they did some reductions. In fact, we did an engineering fee reduction of about 40,000 to free up, labor money to do some in-house labor. They did that. We reduced those scopes. I believe right now, between the two, we're probably somewhere around the $1.2 million range.
So Jamie, just to give some clarification on the phase 1, there was money that was given out of the contractual stuff that was allocated for Joseph, which was $125,000. He gave back $40,000, and the parish cleaned the outfall ditch from Maurice, from Oakley Lane, all the way to the pumps. We completed that portion of the project. We only used roughly $19,000, and it's just labor. That's all it was labor and the rental of a machine for it. So there's still an existing $22,560.45 that Mr. Charlie has for labor. It's allocated to labor. We can reallocate if we need to, but that's what's left after we completed that portion of it. That was phase 1 for the parish to clean out all the way from Oakley Road to the Concierge pumps. We did our portion of it. And now it would go to the rest of the project that's in his scope of work. So to give you, Mr. Charlie, you have $22,560.45 that we can move in labor and reallocate it at the next meeting if you want to discuss some things.
It ain't gonna go forward.
Whatever you
Yes,
think.
we're eating it all up.
Mhm.
Yes,
Right.
eating it up.
So nobody's gonna go
Throwing
and look
trees
at
on the
back
damn
culverts?
levee.
Nobody's gonna go and address the bad culverts on this?
What's that?
The bad culverts? Change out,
That bad covered, what the hell? We're living with this, soon live continuously.
all right, no action.
No action, shit on.
All right, item number 4, request, removal to consider final acceptance of the Parish Street Drainage Project. Project 93, go ahead, I'm sorry. You got that, Ron?
Where?
Who that was Jeff's.
Yeah. Can we go back to item 3?
In the regular meeting.
Okay.
Katie, did he request to put that back on, or was that something you just saw?
Oh, no, he requested
He
to put that back
requested
on.
it, okay.
He's coming tonight?
Hadn't heard from him.
He is. I spoke with him. He said he was.
Do
waiting.
we need to move forward with it?
Let's just carry it to the regular meeting.
Yeah, just bring it back to the regular meeting. All right, item number 5, request approval of the following drainage overages. Project 93-212. Over replacement at 250 Rudy Boville, Ward 1, $798.96. Project number 93-192, culvert installation at 4520 Kent Street, Ward 2, $379.99. Project number 93-269, culvert replacement at 102 Giat Street, Ward 8, $206.56. project 93-222, levy improvement, Kirk Blanchard, Ward 8, $968.
Motion.
Wait. Go back to A, just for clarification for me. The $798.96. This overage for what? Material,
Yes.
labor, what is over?
None of the overages involve labor. It's all material.
It's all material.
Yes. So originally the project had 15-inch culverts in it, but the person that ordered the culverts ordered 18-inch culverts, which is actually in accordance with what's on the road.
Okay.
So this is just being built out now that you're catching this?
It was on our last meeting and we reviewed them.
Yeah.
Came back to it.
Came back to it. All right.
The only thing, B, Hitton Street, Ward 2 is already over, out of funds. So, I can assume he's gonna want to take that out of 92560.
That's what he has left in,
He doesn't have
the
anything.
31,000 in that job number?
Yes, in that one.
Can I make a motion to approve it?
In the last couple of approvals he had, he took it
That's,
out.
that's what he
And
wrote.
unless Jeff have any exception to that, we'll approve it.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, discuss the workflow in the public works.
So, General, I just wanted to kind of, and y'all heard me speak about it before. And we've been trying to get our work order system and the projects going in the right direction, all of us working together. Like right now, currently, if you look at this sheet that I gave you guys, and I highlighted some items. So since 1/1 of 24, there was 1,002 work orders that came in. Currently, right now, we're sitting with 344 that's open, that's unresolved. We have 90 projects on the book. Yes, some of them are large outfall jobs, some of them are different variations. But it's quite a large demand and work. And the way our work order system should work is that a request is sent in and then a person is assigned it, whether it be a foreman, a general foreman, or that person sends that work order down to the employees with the correct board, the actual project number relates to, or where does the labor get charged to, so it goes to the appropriate allocation. And I can tell you, I'm just gonna give 3 quick ones. There's 3 jobs right here that have been completed, and there's no labor on all of them. So we're working on, it's been a work in progress to figure that portion of it out. Because I think that one of them actually was $5,000 in labor and it got closed out.
So where that money came from? General drain?
Well, it was in a project. So the money should actually still be sitting there if there was no labor used, and it's gone. So,
Where's that?
It's charged to an incorrect project. That's what he
Correct.
said. Work
That's what
orders
he's
are
trying
being
to say.
submitted.
So I'm trying to-
incorrectly.
find some of that and bring it back when we find a resolution for it. But that's why the work order system is so effective. Because it tracks the time, it tracks the project, it tracks what we're doing, and the employees know where to charge their time appropriately. So that this doesn't happen.
So it was just charged to a different job.
Correct. We had,
What is the benefits of finding all of this, taking the time?
because you get your $5,000 back.
Well, but at some point, and Brian and I have talked about this, at some point you gotta incorporate the new system in the new way and move forward. You can't keep spinning your wheels, going back, looking.
And that's what I'm saying, that
So,
we're wasting
and
too much
we
time,
talked
dude.
about
Let's
that.
move
But
forward.
he's trying to express to you all the importance of this system and the
Correct.
tracking and how
Right.
all the departments can.
So that we don't
link
lose
that
money in
together.
the
I don't
future.
wanna continue to go back and look at what other people did. Let's move forward.
Yeah, that's fine. So you're willing to leave your $5,000 off the table?
If it's mine, yeah, let's move forward.
Okay.
Let's move forward.
No problem. But from here on out, the request comes in. And then it's dispatched from whoever receives it. And then it goes to our supervisors or foremen and they give their appropriate paperwork on down to the employees. So we're in the right location. I just wanted to kind of let you guys know how that goes. And then we prioritize the projects and work orders as we go.
And that's gonna close the gap also on these project overages that I'm coming across with from invoices that are coded on incorrect project numbers. So the system, we're hoping to rely that we can feed back and know directly who was there, who worked for it, which should match back to timesheets and everything. Everything should
It streamlines it. It keeps it
link.
way more efficient and effective.
Perfect example. Last meeting I was broke. Now I'm in the black with over almost $5,000 because I was being charged
For some other project.
from another project that I had that's not even touched,
Mhm,
and they found it.
mhm.
I knew something was
It's
wrong.
like your labor disappeared on a project been over since 24, Myron, because it was accidentally charged. So we gotta correct that. We gotta correct that.
But I do
Not-
agree with Jamie. We can only go back so
So
much.
far,
We
yeah.
have to
I
start
know.
at some point and move forward.
We can move forward, but I'm just letting you know what's occurring, so
Right.
that is
Right.
validating what we're trying to do and why we need to move forward in that manner.
Correct.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No problem. That's it. Any questions, gentlemen?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Brewer, all in favor? Any opposed? Adjourn.
It's 4:18, we'll get the personnel committee meeting started. Let the record reflect, all members present except Mr. Nakane. Item 1, request approval of 7 days of FMLA leave for administrative assistant event planner.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Palmville, second by Mr. Carter, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passed. Item 2, ratify hiring of custodian effective 8/24/2025 at a grade 1, step 28.5.
Yes, we talked about this at the last meeting and I did make that hire and I just wanted to ratify it with you all as a part of the record. She has started and she's doing a great job.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Carter. Second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passed. Item 3, discuss the recommendation of the parish manager.
So I'm gonna table 3 and 4, because I'd like to have some further discussions with some of the personnel members, and bring it back to the table at the next meeting.
Okay.
All right. Motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn by Mr. Carter,
Motion.
second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Meeting adjourned.
We'll call to order the finance committee meeting. Let the record reflect, all members are present except Mr. Nakane. Request approval of the list of bills submitted through August 8th, 2025.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Alcorn,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval for OSUP Director and Assistant to attend the Louisiana Emergency Management Conference, October 20th through 22nd, 2025. Estimated cost $1,100. Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Alcorn. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request authorization for president to sign fiscal year 2025 EMPG funding agreement in the amount of $51,070.89.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Ponville. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request authorization for president to sign fiscal year 2025 SHSP funding agreement of $17,221.18.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Alcorn,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Consider the purchase of property at 712 St. Mary Street in Napoleonville, which is adjacent to the Mosquito Lab OEP warehouse property, contingent upon possible appraisal and survey.
So,
Put that on.
yeah, who
Justin.
Justin?
Okay, so, we were reached out to by the family that owns this property about, interest before it went on the market. It's next to our mosquito abatement lab. There's an old shed on the property, like old
Cinder block.
warehouse, yeah, old cinder block warehouse. So it would be useful for us to store chemical. Brian is looking for us to move possibly the grass cutting chemical, the grass chemical and for sure the mosquito abatement chemical out of his warehouse to make more room. Be a place where I can put my machines in the winter. The building is still possibly usable. It's not in the best condition, but So they have a price, but, we don't have an appraisal on it. I got a cost on an appraisal. It's $500. I tried to get a cost on a survey. He hasn't gotten back to me yet. Because if you see on the assessor's map, it's never been surveyed before. And this is not correct, obviously, because it cuts the building in a quarter. So I mean, the property is bigger than what it lets on.
And what's the price you got?
20,000.
20,000?
Chris, I want to look at it with him, and I think, you know, I think it's tried and true myself, and been through many hurricanes and survived it. And it'd be a valuable thing for storage and give us some room in our warehouse. Because right now we have pallets and pallets of chemicals that we
I
can
mean,
put in one
it's more than we
place.
need for mosquito abatement, so I would,
All right, I mean, I can do it.
Yeah.
Funding source.
well, that I don't know.
Mosquito bitten. It's a
Some for
mosquito.
sure mosquito abatement, I mean, the bulk of it, I mean, but. You know,
You got the funding for it? You
I
have,
believe so. I talked to Ms. Kim and we do have it right now. I mean, we haven't spent a ton on chemical this year. It's been a, thank God, down season for mosquitoes. It's always been hard. But everywhere else has been a down season so far, so.
$500 to go get the appraisal, you know.
And you're gonna need a survey.
You know, you need a survey, I would think, because it's never
we
been.
can't approve for the survey unless we know.
I don't know how much the cost of the survey is.
Of course.
Let's wait to get the cost of the survey before we get appraisal. You know? Survey might come back extremely high. I don't know, what you wanna do?
We consider doing a not to exceed amount for the survey?
Yeah, that's what I
Okay,
was
do that.
thinking.
5,000?
Oh,
Yeah,
seriously,
I-
no, better not be that much.
Yeah, I mean, I, for the sewer, I think Rheta told me it was like 3,500 and they said it should be way less than that, so.
Put it on,
Let's leave that
see, $2,500 for the survey.
All right, so make a motion for the, you wanna do appraisal, fund the appraisal, and not to exceed 2,500 for the survey.
So survey first, then appraisal. How we doing?
We did the appraisal first because if they're not willing to accept appraisal value, don't pay for us to get the survey.
It might go.
Yeah, you're right.
It might be
Well,
more
we
than the 20, but if they agree to the 20, we don't have to show them out the appraisal.
What I'd suggest on that appraisal, since we're doing a not to exceed for 2,500, get 3 prices, and if you have one under the 2,500, then move forward.
Yeah.
What you mean? Find out?
Contact 3 surveyors,
Okay, I got you.
and if one does not exceed the 2,500, then you move forward, but we'll take the,
But if the first one doesn't exceed the 2,500, then.
I still would like 3.
Three,
regardless.
Survey
I got it.
first to know what they actually appraising.
Yeah, you're right.
What are we moving for survey on anyways? Is there an encroachment that we're not aware of?
On this picture, it looks like the house is.
There's a graveyard behind it. The house next to it was owned by by the owner, and they sold it off in the like 70s, I think. Yeah.
And they mentioned about another piece of property that runs to the road. I don't know if that's connected to it or not.
I mean, if you're seriously considering moving forward on this project, I think you can do it in tandem. I don't think it makes a difference because you're gonna have to do both at some point anyway. So if you will be doing one before the other, I don't think it makes a difference. If we're in the range of 20,000 and that's something that you have a budget to do, you're gonna move on both of them. So again, whatever you, I'll defer to you as far as time frame of how you're gonna get that accomplished.
Okay.
Kim, will we be able to assist any with the purchase because we'd be using the facility also?
Who? Road
Road
and
and
Bridge? Like
Yeah, I
they
know,
have
we,
in-
It's still,
Ain't you
we're
waiting on
purchasing
some
a
more money,
building.
man?
I know,
mean,
but
it's
chill
just a
out,
part of the
chill.
building.
I was trying to,
I know you're trying to be a team player, but you guys not.
let me take it out of.
We have a motion on the
Take it out
floor.
of your drain.
By Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Alcorn, that, we approve the $500 for the appraisal and a not to exceed of 2,500 for the survey, and obtain 3 prices for the survey before moving forward. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Approve one of the maintenance contracts for jury room meeting Zoom equipment.
Yeah, I got an email from, the people that, kind of maintenance this equipment. I didn't really even know that the maintenance contract existed because it's not with us. It's through the Rural Ambulance Association. And, it's been 3 years and they're not gonna have the agreement anymore. They're gonna let it go. So if we don't renew, it's basically, if something happens to the equipment, something happens to the equipment.
You know,
So there's these 4 quotes. The first one, you'll see the document I provided that I didn't put in the packet. Basically, the equipment expires September 20th, the maintenance. The first one is just pretty much support, like phone support. If something goes wrong, it's 1 year. The second one is a 3-year, same kind of support, phone support. Third document is 1 year, but that's if the equipment goes bad, they'll come out and replace it. If they have some kind of issue, they'll come out. Now, this company's in Iowa, so they'll hire a third party to come out and do a replacement. And, you know, basically, we don't have to do anything, but I mean, I'll troubleshoot if it's a small issue, on the phone with them. And then the fourth one is 3-year, same thing, replacement of the equipment.
What is the equipment? It was a grant, what, $50,000 grant for the equipment?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's-
50,000.
Thank you, contract. That's great. Tell you what, I motion that we table this first time looking at this. It was a time to look at it and make a decision on this.
We don't have long.
Next meeting.
We don't have a lot of money either.
So Justin, is this just a support and
The-
management plan, or do we
the
need
first
this
two are
plan for the
support.
equipment to operate?
The first, no, we don't need it to operate, but if something goes wrong, like that's proprietary, I can't do anything. Like, we need the first or second one, like, we need the 1 year or the 3 year, like, if not, something goes wrong, I can't do anything. So we at least need the 1 year, or the, like, 2,000 or the 6,000, we need one of those. If not, if something happens, like, I can't do anything. But if the equipment breaks, they'll still come and fix it, but then we gotta pay for them to come out, we gotta pay for the equipment. It's not gonna be covered under contract, as it would be if we had this agreement. You're just taking that chance. I mean, they'll still come and do it, obviously, but you know, it'll cost whatever it costs at that time. But like, I've had it before to where we had something went bad and I called the rural ambulance lady. She got me on the phone with them, and I was looking at them on that iPad and on that pad that Katie sits at, and they were on a computer on the back end that is proprietary software. I don't have access to it, and they won't give me access to it. If we stop the contract, something goes wrong, we just lock up.
Justin, who informed us that they were dropping the contract?
They send me an email. I don't know the name of the company,
Can you look at that
Interactive
CPA
Digital
before,
Solutions.
before the next meeting and let me know, because I thought they had agreed to perpetual maintenance. That was kind of the hook that we agreed on.
thought it was 3 years.
I don't know how long, I don't remember, but that's what I'm saying, if we could just look at the CEA before you bring it back on the next meeting, just to make. So that we
Okay.
can tell Mr. Carter.
To collaborate, I don't think it was a CEA, I think it was just verbal.
No, we definitely did a CEA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they ever signed it, but that's how we accepted the equipment, because we went back and forth with the new CEO after Ms. Newchurch left.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach out to
Yeah,
him.
rural ambulance never told me nothing. I got this.
So either way, we're not in 3 years yet.
Yeah, rural ambulance never told me nothing. I got directly from the people that's.
All right, let's look at the documentation and bring it back to us.
But we are at the 3 years.
No, because that was back in, when we were negotiating that CEA, I just looked at our old email, that was May of 23. I don't know when it was.
Well,
at.
I might be saying 3 years because they sent me a 3-year renewal, so maybe it was,
I just don't want to have to pay for something
Maybe it
maybe
was
we're not
too-
obligated to pay. So if it's in the CEA that they're responsible for it, they're paying the bill,
okay.
period. So let's look at the CEA, see what it says. If they're responsible, they're paying the bill. I'll handle it.
Item 6 will be tabled. If it's ready to come back on the next agenda, add it to the next agenda.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, approve amended budgets for 2025.
Okay. General fund. Total revenues, $2,834,959. Total expenditures, $2,759,126. Transfers in, $49,108. Transfers out, $809,191. Beginning fund balance, $1,804,068. Ending fund balance, $1,119,818. 1% sales tax, total revenues, $3,675,550. Total expenditures, $1,932,949. Transfers out, $1,048,968. Beginning fund balance, $6,768,292. Ending fund balance, $7,461,925. Road and Bridge, total revenues, $318,366. Total expenditures, $2,138,651. Transfers in, $994,400. Beginning fund balance, $1,427,847. Ending fund balance, $601,962. Off-duty officer fund, total revenues, $29,865. Total expenditures, $10,040. Transfers out, $20,000. Beginning fund balance, $22,247. Ending fund balance, $22,072. Criminal court fund, total revenues, $225,439. Total expenditures, $413,958. Transfers in, $195,000. Transfers out, $3,241. Beginning fund balance, 0. Ending fund balance, $3,240. Library fund, total revenues, $1,477,592. Total expenditures, $1,127,233. Beginning fund balance, $3,879,037. Ending fund balance, $4,229,396. Road Lighting District Number 1, total revenues, $190,980. Total expenditures, $85,700. Beginning fund balance, $1,171,816. Ending fund balance, $1,277,096. Consolidated Road Lighting Number 1, total revenues, $117,136. Total expenditures, $57,280. Beginning fund balance, $461,037. Ending fund balance, $520,893. OEP federal grants, total revenues, $1,118,912. Total expenditures, $3,031,755. Transfers in, $1,373,826. Beginning fund balance, $2,497,131. Ending fund balance, $1,958,114. Office of Emergency Preparedness, total revenues, $813,940. Total expenditures, $1,029,311. Transfers in, $190,000. Beginning fund balance, $76,813. Ending fund balance, $51,442. 0.5% sales tax, which is the road fund, total revenues, $1,701,695. Total expenditures, $3,277,858. Transfers out, $75,000. Beginning fund balance, $2,487,550. Ending fund balance, $836,387. Quarter-cent sales tax, which is the drainage fund, total revenues, $905,556. Total expenditures, $1,378,842. Transfers in, $2,000. Transfers out, $55,724. Beginning fund balance, $1,770,877. Ending fund balance, $1,243,867. 911 communications, total revenues, $228,943. Total expenditures, $306,050. Beginning fund balance, $458,107. Ending fund balance, $381,000. Gulfport Bell River Consolidated Fire District, total revenues, $345,798. Total expenditures, $344,797. Transfers out of $1,000. Beginning fund balance, $286,550. Ending fund balance, $286,551. Pankerville Fire District, total revenues, $345,782. Total expenditures, $344,782. Transfers out $1,000. Beginning and ending fund balance, $286,547. Napoleonville Fire District, total revenues, $305,893. Total expenditures, $304,893. Transfers out of $1,000. Beginning and ending fund balance, $250,947. Fire Lewis Fire District, total revenues, $185,492. Total expenditures, $184,492. Transfers out $1,000. Beginning and ending fund balance, $144,067. Council on Aging, total revenues, $1,290,350. Total expenditures, $1,301,494. Beginning fund balance, $1,064,897. Ending fund balance, $1,053,753. Labadie Fire District, total revenues, $262,306. Total expenditures, 261,306. So transfers out $1,000, beginning and ending fund balance, 199,273. Public Buildings Fund, total revenues, 410,667. Total expenditures, 482,375. Beginning fund balance, 1,147,754. Ending fund balance, $1,076,046. Louisiana Cooperative Extension Office, total revenues, $304,049. Total expenditures, $287,413. Beginning fund balance, $1,163,841. To ending fund balance, $1,180,477. Library Board funds, total revenues, $17,186. Total expenditures, $15,615. Beginning fund balance, $36,957. Ending fund balance, $38,528. Lower Bell River Drainage District, total revenues, $2,149. Total expenditures, $1,293. Beginning fund balance, $12,438. Ending fund balance, $13,294. Libreville Drainage District, total revenues, $3,243. Total expenditures, $368. Beginning fund balance, $30,619. Ending fund balance, $33,494. Murray Drainage District, total revenues, $475. Total expenditures, $20. Beginning fund balance, $12,046. Ending fund balance, $12,501. Part-Time Drainage District, total revenues, $1,051. Total expenditures, $20. Beginning fund balance, $26,506. Ending fund balance, $27,537. Landry Subdivision Drainage District, total revenues, $23,462. Total expenditures, $18,504. Beginning fund balance, $46,488. Ending fund balance, $51,446. Oak Ridge Subdivision Drainage District, total revenue, $6,625. Total expenditures, $6,785. Beginning fund balance, $23,272. Ending fund balance, $23,112. Northwest Side LA 70 Drainage District, total revenue, $6,490. Total expenditures, $7,903. Beginning fund balance, $6,272. Ending fund balance, $4,859. Knott's Gravity Drainage District, total revenues, $3,572. Total expenditures, $3,856. Beginning fund balance, $22,091. Ending fund balance, $21,807. LA 70 Lee Drive Drainage District, total revenues, $12,290. Total expenditures, $4,728. Beginning fund balance, $46,502. Ending fund balance, $54,064. Gulfport Bell River Veterans Park, total revenue, $649,121. Total expenditures, $648,707. Transfers in, $101,308. Transfers out, $373,182. Beginning fund balance, $461,442. Ending fund balance, $189,982. Assumption Gravity Drainage District number 2, total revenues, $18,396. Total expenditures, $3,964. Beginning fund balance, $245,759. Ending fund balance, $260,191. Assumption Gravity Drainage number 5, which is the Platteville District. Total revenues, $2,524. Total expenditures, $228. Beginning fund balance, $48,076. Ending fund balance, $50,372. Bertrandville Recreation District, total revenues, $100. Total expenditures, $10. Beginning fund balance, $2,543. Ending fund balance, $2,633. Bayou Airport North, total revenue, $755. Total expenditures, $1,357. Beginning fund balance, $2,253. Ending fund balance, $1,651. Airport Settlement, total revenues, $1,442. Total expenditures, $1,291. Beginning fund balance, $4,182. Ending fund balance, $4,333. Gomesa Bonds, total revenues, $273,258. Total expenditures, $4,185,054. Transfers in, $4,090. Transfers out, $2,131,106. Beginning fund balance, $6,933,241. Ending fund balance, $894,429. Lower Texas Drainage District, total revenues, $5,862. Total expenditures, $2,508. Beginning fund balance, $22,173. Ending fund balance, $25,527. Ward 1 Recreation District, total revenues, $27,257. Total expenditures, $25,961. Beginning fund balance, $15,053. Ending fund balance, $16,349. The opioid abatement fund, total revenues 57,212, expenditure beginning fund balance 299,824, ending fund balance $357,036. Los Gravity Drainage District number 1, total revenue 72,247, expenditures 74,188, transfers out $2,000, beginning fund balance 122,266, ending fund balance 118,325. Los Recreation District number 1, total revenues 272,156, total expenditures $348,007, beginning fund balance $560,665, ending fund balance $484,814. Fairport Bell River Bond Sinking Fund, total revenues $97, total expenditures $98,933, transfers in $98,933, beginning fund balance $148, ending fund balance $245. Solid Waste, total revenues $3,247,537, expenditures $2,771,592, transfers in $20,399. Beginning fund balance $5,517, ending fund balance $503,742. With the enterprise adjustments, the ending fund balance is $503,742. OEP Special Industry, total revenues $77,897, total expenditures $86,767. Beginning fund balance $129,185, ending fund balance $145,487. With the enterprise fund adjustments, the ending fund balance is $416,458. Mosquito abatement, total revenues $355,207, total expenditures $278,882. Beginning fund balance $254,177, ending fund balance $284,919. With the fund the enterprise zone adjustments is $495,402. Consolidated Sewer District, total revenues $149,215, total expenditures $246,885, transfers in $90,000. Beginning fund balance $43,629, ending fund balance $35,959. Fairport Bell River Rec Bond Construction Fund, project budget, total revenues $4,121, total expenditures $210,045, beginning and ending fund balance $0. Community Development Fund, total revenues $3,518, total expenditures $369,783, transfers in $366,716, beginning fund balance $20,468, ending fund balance $20,919. Energy Assistance Program, total revenues $179,598, total expenditures the same, beginning and ending fund balance $0. Emergency Food and Shelter, total revenues $8,333, total expenditures the same, beginning and ending fund balance $0. Section 8 Housing, total revenues $685,531, total expenditures $677,342, beginning fund balance $47,762, ending fund balance $55,951. Community Services Block Grant, total revenues $63,371, total expenditures the same, beginning and ending fund balance $0. CDBG Disaster Recovery Program, Quincy Canal, total revenues $0, total expenditures $0, beginning and ending fund balance $0. Same thing for Bayou Vincent Canal. Capital outlay Platteville Drainage, total revenues $1,371,486. Total expenditures $1,970,099. Transfers in $598,613. Beginning and ending fund balance is $0. Capital outlay Assumption Pumps and Drainage, total revenues $467,500. Total expenditures is $634,167. Transfers in $166,667, beginning and ending fund balance $0. Capital outlay Shell Beach Boat Landing, total revenue $620,725. Total expenditures $664,590. Transfers in $43,865, beginning and ending fund balance $0. Community Action Advisory Agency, no activity, beginning and ending fund balance $14. Line item appropriation, fire hydrants, total revenues, $227,875, expenditures the same, beginning and ending fund balance $0. CWEF raw water intake, total revenues, $125,000, expenditures the same, beginning and ending fund balance $0. LaGap courthouse renovations, total revenues, $94,000, total expenditures, $94,000, beginning and ending fund balance $0. LaGap trucks and enclosed trailer, total revenue $75,000, expenditures $118,634, transfers in $43,634, beginning and ending fund balance zero. Recreation Trails Program, Belrose Library Walking Trail, total revenues $47,648, total expenditures $59,560, transfers in $11,912, beginning and ending fund balance zero. CWEF elevated storage tanks rehab, total revenues $140,000, total expenditures the same, beginning and ending fund balance zero. Project budgets, Constant Canal, total revenues $3,705,587, total expenditures $3,705,587, beginning and ending fund balance zero. Bayou St. Vincent Canal, total revenues $9,080,000, expenditures the same, beginning and ending fund balance zero. Land and Water Conservation Fund, project budget, total revenues $1 million, total expenditures $1,841,500, transfers in $841,500, beginning and ending fund balance zero. American Rescue Act, project budget, total revenues $4,252,070, total expenditures $4,252,070, beginning and ending fund balance zero. American Rescue Act Water Sector Program is zeroed out. Line item appropriation Gilbert Patty Rehab, total revenues $600,000, expenditures $600,000, beginning and ending fund balance zero. Gentlemen, I do recommend these budgets for approval. However, I ask you to give this some serious look and look at our revenues and look at our expenditures. And we need to really, really move to operating under a balanced budget. The only budget that is really looking really good right now is 1%. And if sales tax takes a turn downward, then that one's gonna be in a bad place as well.
All right. I just want the finance committee to see if you'd be available, next Wednesday. I know we have a meeting at lunch, for some economic development stuff, but, if you'd be available Wednesday morning to meet, let me know if you are or not, and then we can see.
Do it Wednesday afternoon after we finish this other one?
We already have another meeting scheduled Wednesday afternoon. But I'd just like to see if we, so long as we only have 4 jurors that can make it, then we can handle it that way. And if we have to flip a coin to see who doesn't participate, we'll do what we have to do to be able to meet and discuss these budgets with the Secretary Treasurer.
On the 20th?
Yes.
I'll sit out and y'all can have it.
Are you available?
Yeah,
Jeff, you available?
should be as of now, I am.
I should be, I know I'm going to the 2 meetings we already got
Right.
scheduled. Yeah, I should be.
What time are you talking about, Leroy?
Probably 8:30.
Oh, Lord. All right, go with it.
So just to give you a half hour to kind of get things ready for us
It's ready,
to be there. No, okay.
yeah.
Motion to approve the amended budgets.
All right, motion by Mr. Nakam to approve the amended budget,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Alcorn, second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Let's go ahead and get started with the Road and Bridge Committee meeting. Let the record reflect all members are present. 2 items. Number 1, discuss recommendation from engineer on the road program, and hopefully we can move forward. Sawa.
Yes, I put before you all, some additional cuts, at the last, meeting, you all asked that I, look at possible cuts, to the budget to bring it within 2.8 million. I put those before you. The wards that you see cut are all of the ones that ran over the average, budget, across the board. So I tried to make minimal cuts, but keep us within that budget. If we would have to go to the alternate cost savings, which I presented to you, which generated $739,110. And then I'm recommending the additional cuts below to bring you back under that 2.8 million. This puts you right at around 2.7, but again, it is budgetary. Once we move forward with the final design, and then we put the roads out to bids, but this leaves some leeway and cushion in there to hopefully that we won't have to make any more cuts.
This is going with what program?
This going with, if you recall, when I gave you the budgetary book, we had some alternative cost savings. Basically using a micro paving plan in certain areas of the parish. It's a thin overlay system. It doesn't give quite the extended life that a full repaving would do, but it has been successful in other parishes, and it does generate a considerable cost savings.
I don't,
The other option would be go back to, if you look, the base budget prior that I gave you all prior to this was 3 million, without any cuts was 3,652,000. In order to get down to 2.8, you would, without doing the cost savings measures, you would have to do some considerable cuts to the roads that were presented.
I think first thing that you need to decide on, do we want to go with that type of material? So we're looking at maybe 3 years, and then we gotta redo the roads.
That's almost the
In
case.
Gonzales area, they use it a lot, and the roads, I've seen roads 2-3 years they've been having it, and it's like the first day they put it.
Yeah, it is successful in areas where the foundations can support
Foundation's
it.
good, I said.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I said it had to be wet, different areas, but where, I was surprised, I didn't think it was gonna work, but it does.
I don't like seeing the cost cutting just being primarily in Park Bell River area here, Joe.
Well, I mean, if you go back to the original budgets, those areas, while even with those cuts proposed, those are still the highest cost and still way over. Ward 8 in and of itself is over $700,000 with the roads that were submitted based on the base design. Same goes for Ward 9, was just around the $600,000 mark. And so forth. So we were trying to be fair across the board. These were the recommendations that were made. You don't have to accept them.
But you're removing good sections.
Yes.
Remove-
In other words,
Don't remove the good, remove the good
I'm
sections.
saying remove the
I
good
got
sections
it.
from the
That's what
paving.
you're
If
saying.
it's still in good condition, then we would leave that out.
I mean, I did that in the past. I didn't do whole streets because of the cost, I had to mill up a whole road because of that spots. You're not removing any roads from what I was looking at. What you mean by, remove some layers on Bayou Drive?
On Bayou Drive, we were installing for a section of Bayou Drive there, we're installing that in lifts to achieve a certain elevation that we achieved in other parts of the roads. This was a particular section that was a dip. It's an area that you could have some savings because the street itself is in good condition. It's just not of the elevation that you all desire.
I don't think you're out of line what you're asking for right there.
How many inches, you plan on decreasing that elevation there? By drop,
One lift, approximately 2 inches.
2 inches. How many inches were you lifting it total?
Total, it varied. It varied across there. The deepest portion was right at around 6 inches. And then it feathered off to 2 and 4. You're basically paving a wedge.
Right. Have you determined what elevation it needs to go up to?
I don't know the number off the top of my head, but if I recall, it was somewhere, we had it shot at one time. I don't know the exact number. I don't know why I'm thinking 4.2, maybe it was in there, but I can get you that number.
Right, so
I don't have that number off the top of my head.
this is a section of road that we had to put tiger dams on last time we had the water up in that area. So the intent here was to bring the road up to the elevation to where it acts as the levee for that district, and we don't have to put the tiger dams there.
And look, you all gave me the task of reducing the budget to 2.8 million. If I take into account everything, this brings it down to 2.7. So again, these are recommendations of areas where you can have cost savings. I'm not telling you what you can and can't do. It is your money and it's your roads.
I just think, for Bayou Drive right now, I don't think you have sufficient survey to know exactly what the cost would be to raise it to the elevation that it needs to be raised to.
We have enough data at this point that we have a sufficient estimate, and it is a good estimate that you have before you. Now, until actual bid prices come in, and I mean, if you're paying $2 or $3 more per ton in paving, could affect can affect that as well. So, we have had the center line surveyed. So as I told you, I don't have that data with me tonight, but if you, that wasn't what I was tasked with. This is simply presenting you with options. And like I said, I presented it, at around 2.7. It gives you some leeway and wiggle room, and you all can make decisions.
You still don't know when the bid's gonna come in.
Yeah, you gotta go for bid.
Let's go off a bid and see what
It's based off of
But
an estimate.
you still had to get a number, right?
I'm fine leaving it off for now because I want to see what the elevation is on the plans to see how it has to be adjusted once we get to that point.
Let's go for
And
bid.
all I'm,
We don't have that.
and look, gentlemen, I'm just trying to get a budget that you all are comfortable with and authorize so I can move forward with the design and get the surveys that you're requesting.
Can I entertain a motion for Mr. Sidewalk to continue to move forward
Motion.
with his recommendation?
I don't want to take any cuts from this right now.
Ain't got no choice, James. We got to move.
Look,
We got to-
$10,000 from Bayou Drive.
You
We're gonna
almost
spend-
$1 million.
We're gonna spend that in labor, putting out tiger dams.
Let's see where it comes out at. Let's see what comes back at. We got to
We're gonna
move.
spend
man.
that in labor.
We delaying. We need to move. We cut the budget because we had
But
to.
take some of the money from the,
For what?
your farm to market roads and put back in here.
No, I'm not. Because he's in a deficit.
Of course not.
He needs some help. I got a motion on the floor. Can I entertain a second to move forward? It
I'll
needs to
second.
get done. Got a second by Mr. Blanchard. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We got one nay. And all ayes. Motion passed. Thank you. Item number 2, request approval to send DOTD a letter to resurface LA 1010 from LA 1011 to 1/2 mile past, I guess, East Lil Texas Road,
It's actually one half.
1/2.
Okay.
One
That's
half.
the worst part of the road. It's terrible. So, and I put in that request before some years back, but, I'd like to send them.
Okay. All right.
The request, I would ask them, they do a lot of stuff in-house. You got a better shot at if you get it done, ask the TD and they could do it in-house.
Across the bayou.
Not there, but yeah, they do resurfacing in-house. X amount of dollars.
So who will
No, you
we
just
send the communication
Just send
to?
it to Aaron, Elizon.
To Aaron? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's your best shot at getting it done.
So, yeah.
Same thing they did in Bar Louis, they did it in-house for a while.
You wanna
That first
contact
one.
Aaron, or
Request
you want me to
DOTD
contact
do
him?
in-house.
You want me to contact Aaron? I'll contact him tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, okay. We're gonna table this up.
It's been trying it a few times. I know I did twice.
So you still
Still
send
send
a
a letter
resolution?
and you can
Okay.
still contact.
Okay,
them.
all right, okay, all right. You on the, let's see. So I got a motion to send a letter to DOTD.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Motion.
We got a motion by Mr. Pondville.
Charles is on it. Charles is on it.
Okay, got a second by Mr. Burke. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Motion to adjourn. Got a motion by Mr. Blanchard.
Yeah.
Second by Mr. Brooke. Meeting adjourned.
All right, we call engineer grants committee meeting to order, record reflect all members are present. First item on the agenda, update from GIS engineering. Attorney Jolie Moore, Bertrand Bill, Bev Rose, and Clark.
Good afternoon, jury. Dwayne Vayon, GIS engineer.
Ron John for with GIS Engineering.
Joe Lamar, we're just awaiting RFQ to come out for that project.
Murray, tell them what happened.
So we did, we started advertising for RFQs, but they weren't, uploaded to our web page, so we have to re-advertise.
Okay.
So we're in that process of re-advertising.
So you used to call you Bird, Mr. Tawan.
I caught that.
Bertramville, the contractor, requested substantial completion, consultation with Mr. Savoy. We feel that, that's an adequate request. We submitted the certificate for substantial completion, along with the as-built surveys. Backup data, we ran QC checks on their survey. They all checked out good. Anybody has any questions regarding that?
Are you asking for a,
Yes,
substantial?
It
yes.
will be later on the agenda, you have to get the.
Oh, yeah, it may-
They
it may
have-
be-
They have it as a separate item.
It may be a
down
little
further
bit
down.
further.
Okay, I'm looking at it.
Because I got a change order. down
We
there.
have
Mr. Chair, why don't you move this change order? I don't know if y'all approve it or not.
Yeah,
That's
they're,
why
they're,
you're talking about that item.
Yeah,
anyway.
let's move that.
Move that up.
You asked for a change order.
For 21 days in time only.
yeah, in time only, and, it was just to cover the rain days for that project.
Motion to, accept the change order by Mr. Diaz. Second by.
Second.
Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. All right. Next.
Melrose, no.
Wait, you want to do the, take up number B, substantial completion.
Yeah, are we gonna move up to substantial completion? Well, with Bertramville?
Okay,
Are there any punch list items associated with the?
No, sir, not at this point. They completed all the punch list items that we had, did on the original one that was rejected, I went back and then re-excavated.
so you the engineer, you,
Yeah, he's
Yes.
actually the engineer of record.
Yes.
you know,
In other words, we'd come about, he's correct. About a
we
month
good.
ago, we came with a recommendation for substantial completion, and it was rejected at that time. So during that period, the contractor actually mobilized and completed the items that we were requesting as punch list at that time.
all right, motion by Mr. Diaz,
Second.
second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. All right.
Okay, I think that covers that one. Belrose Lane, just waiting on the parishes, plan forward as far as, rephasing it or whatever, was gonna go on with, Mr. Southwell.
Anything on that, Lee?
No, we have some outfall work going on right now. Once we get that outfall work completed, then we'll know where we're standing with the project.
Flatbill drainage project?
Bill Drainage, we're still doing the Davis Bacon, as they come in. I believe further down on,
Well, you got request and approve final change order number 3 for Flatbill drainage project?
Yeah, let's cover that first, Dwayne,
Okay.
and then see how we move forward to
okay,
cover your part.
so that change order request is on behalf of Mr. Southwell.
Yes, that is to add back in the 3 additional streets that were in the original scope. We presented that to the state. We got FP&C concurrence. The state funding is funding 75% of that. We are recommending approval.
Why we took it out of the original scope?
Because when we originally went out to bids, we had a preliminary budget. We thought we were gonna run close. So we were trying to come in at a number that we knew would be under. Those streets, with those added streets, we're only doing sweeping and blowing and cleaning of culverts, but at the time that we went out to bids, it was generating enough savings in the estimated budget at the time.
So a contractor knew he could come in cheaper and then get the change orders after.
No,
sir.
no, no,
No, sir,
no,
he had
that
no
didn't happen.
knowledge.
No, that
We
didn't
had no
happen.
knowledge of these streets, so that's
No,
a
that
false
didn't happen.
statement.
This is the third and final change order, which, we were recommended by Facility and Planning and Control when we saw that we were running under within the project. And if y'all allow this to be approved, we're gonna look to close this project out at the end of the month, so we can get this off the book.
Motion.
But any material deducts, or it was just the adder for these additional streets?
We did the deducts and all on the previous change order. We did a balance of quantity change order first to see how much money was actually left in the project. Then we went through in discussions with FP&C. They allowed us to know how much money we had, so then we knew how much we could add back in based on those numbers.
Right, so as far as you know, right now, there are no outstanding adders or deducts for Platinum Drainage. This would be the end of it.
This is
No
it.
credits. We already did the balance of quantity change order is what I'm telling you. So this is not a quantity add. This is not a quantity add change order. This is a sweep and blowout culvert. So this would be a fine.
So did we check on the culverts? From that last change order? quantity of culverts that needed to be bought with that last change order? We check back on it,
What you talking about?
the list that Paul got,
What does Paul got?
the culverts of Plot Mill.
What
The
you
one
talking
that,
about?
that was extra culvert that,
Yes,
Mr. Chad was,
yes, we should
seeing
have
if we want
credit
to
on
purchase the
that.
culvert or not?
Yes,
Yeah.
First of all, Byron Talbot financed this whole project before we paid him one dime, just so you know, okay? Therefore, he has the right to sell any catch basin, any culvert he wants. He only got paid for what he put in the ground. Everything else he took away. So far as a credit, I don't know what you're talking about, but if he wanted to sell this parish a culvert, he has every right to do it. Let's go.
when this
All right,
should have
so,
been, bid by the linear foot, correct?
If you want to go and check it, you're welcome to go check every culvert. That's up to you if you want to do it. If you got the time and the patience, you go ahead and you check every culvert. But I stand by
I
Byron
don't
Talbot.
understand why you're addressing me. He's
Well, you're the
asking
one
questions.
who must have brought it to the jury saying that we wanted to sell some culverts.
No, I brought it to the, previous manager, to see if he wanted to buy the culvert, because I was offered through the contractor if I wanted to buy any culverts for the parish before they return them.
Okay.
So
So,
that's how that went,
okay.
and went to the previous manager, which addressed it with
Well,
other jurors, I guess, and they came back to me and said, what, they haven't, and they asked me the question, that's all it was.
He spoke to me about it, so if we don't have an active project that he needs to purchase culverts for, there was no reason for us to purchase.
That's right. He could bring it
excess
back to his
material.
yard. Yeah, he could bring it back to his
At the
yard.
end of the
That's why he
day,
didn't act on it.
I acknowledge more than one time in an open meeting, I have no authority. I go through my manager, I do whatever my manager requests of me. And if I have anybody contact me, I go directly to my manager. I have text messages to prove that I went directly to him.
yeah, that's reasonable.
All
All right, so we got a motion,
Second.
motion by Mr. Jazz, second by Mr. Mathern, all in favor?
All right.
Opposed?
Now, Mr. Chair, can we move item number G,
4G.
4G, with GIS, who is still doing the Bacon and Davis services related to the project?
Press
Mike-
approval,
Excuse me, Mike, your motion is gonna be for authorization to sign as well, right?
Yeah.
To include both, okay. Change order and authorization to sign. Okay. Got that.
all right, so G is gonna be request approval of amendment number 1 for the Flattville Drainage Project Contract with GIS in the amount of $7,000 for David Bacon related services, and authorize president to sign the pending cost analysis.
Not to exceed it, Mr. Chair, please.
Not to exceed
Yes, sir.
$7,000.
It's going to be a T&M basis and we extended, this project was originally slated for 180 days. With this, they've already approved 100 days of additional contract time. So I stretched it out as much as I can.
You did.
We ran out of those funds.
You did.
I'm not requesting another 160 days. I just want to extend it potentially 100 days of the 2 approved change orders already, but it's a T&M basis not to exceed. And I was advised that the project is looking like to the end of the month. So if it did carry further along, we would have those funds available to continue the Davis Bacon.
Thank you for your work.
Why did it extend so long?
Why did it extend so long? Yeah, some weather. Other than that, I mean, the project is a damn good project. It works.
Majority of the extension is due to weather.
That's the only thing I can say.
I would think.
That is a.
Yeah, I got a motion on the floor for that.
It's an all.
All right, that's good enough.
It is pending the cost
Blame it-
analysis,
blame it on
correct?
us.
Pending the cost analysis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we submitted the proposal to the parish with the backup data, man hours.
Perfect. Motion by Mr.
Thank you.
Matherian, second by Mr. Diaz, all in favor?
All right.
Opposed? That carries. Anything else?
I got, on the Platteville drainage, from the area between Spur 70 and Highway 70 and the canals. I know DOTD had done a portion for under the highway. There's a section between Spur 70 and Highway 70.
On the north side.
Yeah,
On the
is that,
north
is
side.
that gonna be addressed in this project? or-
Joe, did that,
On the north
on the
side.
north side, on the north side, where they got some, Look like got some trees. I saw some people working in that, but don't.
No, this is the section that just hasn't been touched yet.
No, not on, you're talking about the north side of
The-
70?
the
Spur
north
7.
Spur.
Between Spur 70
Okay,
and
talk about
70.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
I
about.
see what you're talking about. No, that's all that's all within the state. We did clean portions of the state right away there for the state, but that area that you're referring to, that was being handled, I think that was being handled by Mr. Aaron Ellisar the last time we spoke.
The only reason why I'm saying is that canal hasn't been touched, so it's a dam right now for all of the work that's been done upstream of there.
You're correct. There is a dam there, and we do have bypasses around that coming in different directions, but that is a major cross. That is the next portion of which we spoke to Aaron Ellisar. They are scheduled to clean that. They're scheduled to clean those large culverts that are in that no man's.
They did the culverts. This is the open ditch between the culverts on Spur 70 and the bridge on Highway 70.
I think that's still within their right of way though.
All I'm saying, the project won't work unless it's all done, and that.
No, that side, no, you got two,
different-
you got two, no, you got two different sides. You got a side that's taking the north side, coming from your side, that's going into one of the canals. And you also have the opposite side that's closer to the Ideal Street side. So there's two that's going into one, that's going into one. The one you're talking about is on the north side. I know exactly what you're talking about it. But that was supposed to be under Aaron them to go ahead and hit both of them. That was under Aaron. So I'll check back with him. I'll check back because, yeah, that was under Aaron.
Guys, we have a few more things on the, underneath that we touched on some of, number 4. I don't know if y'all want to address those now with us or, particularly, C, E, and F.
C, D, and F?
C,
Just
Echo,
we
E,
don't
and
get
F.
Yeah, we're gonna be there shortly.
Okay.
Let's just roll. You're right there.
Yeah.
10 foot away.
Any more questions?
I think we're good.
Thank you.
All right. Update from the Planners Design Group. Carroll Street and Green Levels and Fairport.
Joe Gillery, DDG. You may remember last week, Mr. Hester had provided some information on the mitigation costs, and there was a discussion to kind of hold until this month or this meeting to talk about it.
Oh, to Myron
I'm
Fountain.
working on some, but, clearly we may not have the funds to the first of the year, but, it's, just hold up for a little while on
Okay, well, what we've already done is sent letters to Core and, to OCM, and just said, hey, guys, we're definitely gonna do this. We'll update that with the information you just provided. And,
it. Can't do away with, the core and all that, but we could maybe get some funds to help pay for it, so.
so there was an option mentioned of submitting I guess, an appeal or something to OCM to forgiveness on their portion.
Yep.
Of it.
Can we do that?
And Brad suggested that maybe, he hasn't really seen one go through.
Yeah, we've never seen one go through. It doesn't hurt,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always the first time.
Make that
Yeah.
request.
all right, y'all wanna do that?
Yeah, do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It won't hurt anything.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Make sense.
we'll submit that and basically be in holding until the beginning of the year.
Maybe soon, yeah.
All right, sounds good.
All right, that's it.
That's it, unless you got some more questions for me.
All right. Anything on the ring levis? Oh, you done, Joe?
There was some discussion about some additional work, but y'all said hold off. Y'all had some other things you were working on. So we've been holding off, waiting to hear back from. Any word?
What were we on for the ring out, Joe? That should be good, that should be started.
Waiting on engineering. We need to hire an engineer.
We wait.
Port exemption.
We got a contract with Joseph.
When you cancel the contract.
Motion.
Oh, you talking about the pumps?
Oh, yeah.
You ain't gonna be able to cancel that like that.
Get your motion.
The capital outlay project is the portion of the project that it has a contract with, and DDG has expressed that they'd be willing to work with him as needed to get that project done based on what they did and what he needs to do.
How does the cost estimate worked out?
No, you said hold off until you heard back from you, so we're waiting for direction.
And I offered the same. I said I would work with DDG.
Give us a cost estimate on it, Joe.
All right.
And present it as next meeting, please.
All right, I entertain a motion to, put the planners assigned group to, submit an exemption for the Gerald Street litigation. Right?
Yeah.
Motion by Mr. Meyer, second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Thank you. Update from Infinity Engineering on Parish Wide Sewer Plant Improvement Projects.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Good evening. Can you hear me?
You got the floor.
So we had a pre-construction meeting on the last Wednesday on the 6th. The contractor has been very responsive to all our questions and our requests. We're expecting a schedule this week for their construction timeline. A notice to proceed has been set for Monday, August 25th.
Cover the ground on the 25th.
The 25th, their contract time starts. It's 300 days. The expected completion date for substantial completion is July 21st, 26.
Perfect. Perfect. Any questions?
Let it start.
Where?
Doesn't matter.
All right,
I can't-
anything from us today?
No, I'm good.
Thank you. Talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jesus. Yep. Update from, Special Programs Director, Grants Coordinator. First approval of change order number 2, outfall cleaning and snag.
We did A and B already.
We did A and B together. Got it
Go to
circulated.
C.
C, request approval of Laverville Drainage Project contract with GIS in amount of 86,290 pending legal review and authorize the president to sign. That was, yeah, just give me.
So this was the, H&H modeling that we discussed. And I do have an update regarding that. The, existing modeling, is complete and they're working on the report and the, modifications that's gonna need to address with the model, results produced.
Recommendations and.
Yes, sir. It should be ready within about 2 weeks.
Right. And this amount was
Funding for this?
just Mason.
This project was already, approved. I was under the assumption we was running underneath the general engineering contract.
We RFQ'd
We
anyhow.
are through the other.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
We
it was
good.
art.
Oh, okay. Well, I submitted the contract for legal review and I haven't heard back. So
We good?
it's good. Okay.
All right, so entertain the motion. Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Pineville, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. D, you do D?
Yep. On the E.
E is request approval of amendment number 1 for the Cossack
We
Canal.
didn't do
Oh, we
this.
didn't.
No, we didn't do D.
No, we didn't do D.
We
My
didn't do
apologies.
Okay.
D. Request approval of CEA with FP&C for grant cost planning and construction, authorize president to sign.
And we can't start any construction or request the engineering until we get that paperwork back. So once the president.
Use the scope. Everybody knows.
The total amount is 400,000. The state cash is 300,000, estimated project 396,475. And FP&C administration fee 13,500.
What's the scope say? The scope.
Scope of work.
Now, I'm not familiar with that part.
It should, it's
I
gotta
think
be in the contract.
Yeah, I think with Grant Park,
Oh, okay, scope.
and Grant Park restrooms and pavilions.
Is this a line item appropriation?
That's what I'm about to say. I don't think this FP&C. I think this line item appropriation, direct cash.
Well, it said it comes from FP&C.
Who requested it? I'm just trying to see if, I don't know how
I
it.
believe it just came. That's why I'm, read the scope. What does the scope
Oh,
say?
it
So
said,
we know, because we don't have anything.
it says, as provided in the act, the state funds for the project are limited to capital improvements for the project in the parish and in the amount set forth for funding summary. If the entity enters into a contract prior to receipt of funding and prior to execution of
So it's just broad, capital improvements at Grant Park.
Mhm.
So there's a request that you made directly to the legislation, to our delegation to approve?
No, me and Price talked about some funding for Grand Park. He said he's gonna see what he can do, but it was, we talked about it in the meeting a couple of times, that it was put in for it.
It's almost a surprise to you, Chris.
No. I mean, I was
You knew it was
surprised to get,
coming?
I was surprised to get it cash money. I didn't, with no match. It was. I've set aside money to match that.
All right, so we can move forward.
Yeah.
They give it-
They approved it? Tanya?
Yeah, if it's just in the regular form, I approach.
All right, so have a motion.
Yep.
Motion Diaz, second by Pineville, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. We did E,
No.
request approval of amendment number 1 for the Conscience Canal Project with GIS. An amount of $473,611 and authorize president to sign.
Yeah, this was, one that I was here a few months ago to talk to y'all about. We had to work out some issues with, OCD with, the application on that before everything could be approved, and finally got all those issues worked out. This will be for the design efforts, any environmental work that's got to get done to clear the project, and then construction, and also construction administration following that.
The funding was what?
Yeah, what the funding source
I
coming?
have
This
no
is
idea. I don't
watershed
understand.
Oh, so it's watershed
You get
money.
an engineering
Water-
contract.
Watershed.
Additional
Watershed money.
$473,000.
That's all watershed.
Yes, sir. Watershed.
Was this accounted for in a cost estimate? I mean, the cost analysis when it was originally done, do you know?
I
I
mean,
mean, it's.
I'm not 100% sure,
No, I
because it
don't
was done
understand.
A lot of
before.
money.
An amendment for $473,000.
I don't want to speak about it because I'm not sure, but I do believe that the first part of the project was just the H&H modeling that the state required. And the engineering wasn't
Surveying,
included
it
in
was-
that
it
first
was just-
phase.
Yes, it was just surveying and the H&H modeling to get the scope of the full scope of the project, so that we would better be able to detail the pricing of the design and have a better cost estimate for the FP&C curve for the project.
But Juan, do you have the budget for this project to see what was allocated for engineering?
I don't. I did, I kind of just printed out everything that they sent to me, and, I don't have the budget for it.
I believe it's been reviewed by Lacey with Elios for all the funding for it. I believe, I'm not sure of the specifics of it all, but
Well, I entertain a motion. Approve amendment number 1, based on a verification of the funds. 5, P of Ms. Torres. You do that? Yeah,
We go with that.
yeah, we're good with that. Motion by Mr. Pineville, second by Mr. Diaz. We need to verify the funds.
So the funding, this was part of the design rescoping project where we had an award, but they gave an additional award to cover the rescoping and redesign of that project. So that's where this funding should be coming from. What I'm just not sure of is how that amount compares to what the budget that we have in that project for that.
We'll move forward
Yes, sir.
if they have the funds for us.
And this was, inside this was Jacob GIS. So this was all part of the engineering piece of it, and the amendment also added the federal clauses that was reviewed by ELOS, OCD, and then to ADA. So all of that was in this one amendment to add it into that contract because it didn't have the federal clauses. So all of that's put together. And then the second thing that's not on here is the Bayou, St. Vincent.
No, it is. It's the
Oh, it's the
next
next
one.
one.
Yeah. We're good.
All right, cool. So there's a motion made and second, all in favor?
And the inclusion of the federal clauses.
And inclusion.
Yeah, I have it.
All in favor?
Aye.
What's your
Opposed?
motion? I'm sorry.
Mr. Poundville, Mr. Diaz. All right,
And on these, I know I sound like a broken record, gentlemen, but these two projects, they're asking for long-term O&M. Operations and maintenance on these projects. You know, we're gonna continue going down the road and we're gonna expend, and then they're gonna look at our operations and maintenance and we don't have it. And then what?
What they're looking for right now is operation and maintenance plan.
Well, a plan comes with a funding source.
It does not. In this particular case, it does not have to be 100% allocated or
I
funded.
understand it doesn't have to be 100%, but if something happened and we had a storm and that canal was full, we wouldn't even have the funds to go clear it, which is why we're here in the first place. So then what do we do? I mean, I understand they don't want a dedicated source. I get that. But we don't even have a functioning drainage budget right now that we can say we have money committed to do this.
I've had conversations with OCD and our grants administrator for this. They both recommend that we go down this path. If we don't, then these bayous continue to be clogged up and they're backing up and flooding people. So I don't see how we can go against the recommendation from the funding source for this project that's telling us this is how you need to structure your own.
Okay, and that's perfectly fine. For the record, when we're down the road and they ask for that plan, and if it's not approved, we had this discussion. I won't mention it again.
so don't say it.
So move.
All right, so motion made second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. All right, next item, request approve engineering contract for Bayou St. Vincent with GIS for $110,525. Pending legal review and authorized president to sign.
Yes, this would be just for the initial survey that we're doing. OCD has got their own engineer on staff to do the H&H report for this project. So they're just waiting for us to get the survey for them. They will complete the H&H report. And then kind of similar to the approach we took on Conscien. Once the H&H report is completed, then we can submit a proposal to do the design and construction administration for the project. So this would just be a time and material contract for the survey.
Tanya, based on our last call with OCD said they would cover the cost of this portion of the engineering.
Of the engineer, yeah, it's in the, I think it's in the contract.
All right, perfect.
It's in the contract.
Yeah.
I wanna say.
So the funding source would be OCD for this.
Motion by Mr. Diaz,
Second.
second by Mr. Poundville, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. All right, so I'm finished with the alphabets. I got a circle. Request authorization to re-advertise for Jordan Moore Street project RFQ.
And that's because it wasn't advertised on the website.
Gotcha. You said that earlier.
Yeah, so we have to
Motion.
re-advertise.
Motion.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Poundville, second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Now I'm finished with the alphabet. Update from South Central Planning Development Commission. No representative here, because no actionable items. Anybody has
They
anything?
never said that they weren't coming, but Ebony did send me an email about the DRA. She said that she spoke about it a few times, that the deadline is near. For the CIF which is the Community Critical Infrastructure Fund. The max amount is 2 million and the deadline is August 30th to pick a project for that fund. Also, SEDAP grant, which is the State Economic Development Assistance Program. The max for that grant is 500,000 and the deadline is August 25th. But you would have to pick projects.
You said match, you have matching.
got a magic fund on that?
Yeah,
No.
there's a match.
There's a match.
Oh, great, yeah.
Yeah, there's a match.
You have to have a match.
Here's what you apply for, how much?
Yeah, because it ranges.
They didn't, I don't think she
They
said.
didn't have a percentage, it's only from, it ranges from a certain amount to a certain amount.
All right, well, we got a whole lot of time, but we don't have a whole lot of money either. Imagine.
What kind of projects can you do with the other two besides the economic development one? What, you know? I mean, they're saying projects for this,
Once you do the project, submit the projects, it's going up to Gil. You gotta get it awarded because you're gonna be competing against everybody in the street. And that's the one I applied for twice and
oh, okay, all right, so you know.
All right,
We ain't got no match money.
update on Ag Center roof project?
Yes, contractor, completed all of his submittals, materials have been ordered, we have an estimated delivery time of 3 weeks, for all of the materials to be dropped
From today.
from today.
How long that project supposed to take?
Once
About
he has
weather
the
forbid.
weather permit, he should be able to be done in about 30 to 60 days in max.
Concession stand?
Huh?
Concession stand?
Yes. We're not, again, we're not allowing him to start tear off or anything until that material is on site, because we're trying to limit that.
Did we do anything about the termite situation? Or we
As I understand it. the
Oh, it's been
termites-
treated.
Oh, go ahead.
treated now? Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Update on courthouse renovation project.
So as per email, we'll have some drawings and specs will be completed by 9/5 of 2025. And then, the estimated construction date, depending on how it goes, would be 2/17 of 26, according to the email.
And the scope of those plans is what, just to make sure everybody's clear.
Well, so the restroom design's about 70% completed. The scope of those plans are it just says a contract document phase, 45-day period, drawings and specs will be completed by 9/20/25. Bidding and permit phase, 30 days period. Currently, the owner will be walking through the permitting process. The owner will also solicit bids for the project. Construction's a 135-day period. Construction should be completed on 2/17 of 2026.
This is for the plumbing deficiency.
Correct. That's what we've been
And
talking
bathroom
about, our
renovations.
plumbers. Actually, we had a problem today with that exact plumbing backed up and caused several issues. So it's a much needed
Are we
project.
checking the manholes, Brian? This problem?
Well, so they identified the location and where all of the plumbing went out to the streets. We actually had to take a culvert cleaner today and go into the rear portion of the parking lot. And the one portion of it goes to the right, to the side of the road, and the other portion underneath the carport also goes that way. So,
Did y'all left the manholes on?
no, that's our access covers here, not in the street itself, going to the village of Napoleonville, because all of our sewer goes to the village. No, sir, we did not lift the manholes in the street.
So we don't know if they was full or not.
No, I'm not sure, but we did clear our plug and it drained, and now they can utilize the water in the toilets again, which this problem has occurred several times over the years because of the deterioration in the drainage, in the sewer system that we're having issues with. There's several dips, Jamie, in the
Do
system
we know where all the manhole covers are?
in the village of Napoleonville.
No, that's
Yes,
connected.
they've been identified in the drawings. They're only sewer cleanouts.
Right.
The plans that we
actually-
expect next month are gonna address this problem.
Yes, correct. They also had another set of engineers that came here and walked the facility last week to ensure that everything was identified. There's lines there, green lines that go out, show you the exits on each unit and where it goes into the street. So, like I said, we grabbed our culvert cleaner. We identified where the issue was. We cleaned our lines out on our side. And then they were able to reuse their facilities and their sinks.
Perfect, thank you, sir.
So the next item on that is, on the courthouse is, we have a meeting with the judges and other occupants of the courthouse, next Wednesday at 1:30. If we can get a head count from everyone that could make it, that wants to attend. If we have more than 5 jurors, we have to post it as a public meeting.
Oh, she said she was gonna do that in an email.
That's what I was gonna say, what we would need, gentlemen, is just a motion to set it as a special meeting if we are going to have a quorum. I think it would probably be safe to do that if somebody, isn't really sure if they're gonna be able to make it. Just in case, I would prefer to have it, advertised, just to be within the public law.
You need a motion for this?
Yes, if we could set the special meeting for Wednesday, the 20th at 1:30, is that correct?
Jane, are you sure you got enough people to have a quorum?
Well, we covered it if we don't. We covered it if we do.
We won't have to, I don't think we're gonna be taking action on anything. I think it's gonna be more of a discussion.
But if we have 5, we covered. We only have
Correct,
4.
but either
we
way,
still
if
covered.
something
Either
comes
way.
up in the future and we do have a quorum at that meeting, I would like for this meeting to be designated as advertised and noticed, under open meetings law.
All right, so I entertain a motion to advertise for a special meeting, August 20th at 1:30, for update on the courthouse. So moved by Mr. Blanchard.
Second.
Second by Mr. Diaz, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next. Request approval to advertise for RFQs for engineering and architectural services for the courthouse renovation project, OCD grant.
Yes, sir, that's me. That's the next phase of this grant that we're moving along with. They're asking for engineering and architectural services, and that has to be RFQ'd because we're gonna use money from the grant. It's federal money, so that has to be RFQ'd. So I'm asking that we can advertise.
Motion by Mr. Diaz. Second by Mr. Pineville, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. Update on Shell Beach boat launch.
I'd like to say something before we get to A. I'd like to thank all the jurors for supporting this. We purchased the property last week. Now it belongs to the parish. Really appreciate y'all and I appreciate the staff working on all the grants for it. Thank y'all.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
As far as A, think the reason A is on the board because the first design came in over budget, so we gotta do it in phases. So I have to separate in phase 1 and phase 2. I like to cancel Joe's the Sabah engineer for that first phase. And go back to 2 different phases, phase 1 and phase 2. I like to hire Sabah back in for phase 1.
So you wanna cancel the current contract?
We can't go into a new contract until the scope is approved through, what's the initials?
Okay.
Capital outlay. The scope change that was sent, never got submitted. I'm not sure where the ball got dropped, whether by South Central Planning or here, there, or wherever. But the scope change never got approved. So we can't enter into a contract for that scope change prior to them approving the scope change. So we have to wait for the state to approve the scope change. Their meeting has been pushed back till September, the end of September. So we can't enter a contract until after that time.
Okay.
So we just gotta hold tight on it.
Hold tight on it, but we'll move with the request to cancel.
We can cancel, and the reason for canceling is because we can't have an active contract prior to a scope change approved.
And we did get all the signatures back already, so,
Right.
whenever they have their meeting.
All right, so motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Diaz, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. Number 10, request approval of letter of no objection for project permit for Atmos Energy Corporation for the installation, operation, or repairs of the installed 265 linear feet of 2 HDPE SDR, what the heck that stands for, 11 gas sides of the pipe gas main line along the north side of Sulphur Street in Lavender. I have no objection.
It's just a plastic gas line.
Yeah.
All of it?
Yeah.
So moved.
HPs, I forgot the, what is HPD?
High density polyethylene.
There you go.
There you
That's
go.
it. Engineers got to know that. That's right. Motion by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Brook. Go on there, Mr. Brook. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Number 11, request approval of a 5.5-foot hardship variance on the north side property line at 7043 Highway 117. Have in your packet for review.
Sir, so you see the plat that they, drew on in the letter from the neighbor, stating that he authorizes them to be that close with the new building that he wants to put there. So it's gonna be 2.5 feet off the property line, and the neighbor's okay with it, so I recommend we allow the variance for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, why would do to protect the neighbor, the neighbor will do it for it.
Yeah, I mean, if the neighbor's okay with it.
All right, recommended to whom it may concern our rules, I will have no issue with the property, corporate, the Crystal City land will be located 2.5 foot off my south property line for roofs and carousel as shown on tax property survey lot 1B violated program for John Cheyenne on November 5th, 2000. Entertain the motion? So moved. Moved by Mr. Blanchard. Second by Mr. Brew, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. Next, request of preliminary approval for a new manufactured home park at 131 Bench Street and 126 Mike Street in Fairport community.
I'm looking at this, looks like what they do, they coming off of My Street and putting a trailer in the back of another trailer on that lot. And that'll make it a mobile home, right?
Yeah, they already have one on the property,
And you come
trying to
in,
add another one.
and they come in from the other street.
Yeah,
So it's not-
it's just access, they already have the access. It's just, it's gonna be addressed like that because it's the way the trailer faces.
Yeah, that ain't gonna be more top on Bench Street, it'll be off My Street.
Yeah, it's just the way that it was addressed.
No violation that meets our ordinance.
No, it's just preliminary, like they don't have sewer or anything
Preliminary.
yet, so I mean, they gotta get all of that before we find out,
All right,
It's
so
just-
motion from Mr. Mathern. Second by Mr. Palmville, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. Next item, request exemption at 5490 Highway 1, Napoleonville from ordinance 26, section 2660 for no more than one principal commercial industrial structure or 3 single-family dwellings. One must be occupied by the landowner who is claiming homestead, and the other being occupied by immediate family on this property shall be permitted on a single lot or building site, provided that yard and other requirements of this section shall be met for each structure or meets the description of rental property in section 26-64.
So this already has in the past, it's had 2 businesses on it. They've had 2 businesses open on it, but one was shut down. They recently tried to open something else. We put a stop to it because they were just different reasons. And now they want to open another building, it's another business next to the already existing barber shop. The residents requesting that we allow them to do this.
Yes, so
This is in Chris Ward.
so the reason we stopped the last business because it was selling alcohol. It was in violation of this from the church. It said it would be non-alcohol related, and you just want to open a second business on that property. Pretty much the same thing we did for previous business, but I have no objection to it.
You think there's enough parking there for 2 businesses on
Yeah,
that
it's just gonna
line?
be something, what you talked to me about is maybe like a wash interior. There's not gonna be a lot of traffic in it.
And he sent me plans for Washington, that's his plan. He said he's not 100% sure, but this is what his intentions are as a Washington, but,
You don't know if a business, but no, 100% sure what the business is gonna be.
that's what he plans on, but he gotta get sewer approval and everything else, and that takes a big sewer system for Washington.
Yeah. All right.
The question of amount of parking, that's,
Yeah, I
that's the only
get it.
thing, is to make sure there's enough parking for the patrons that he would have for the type of businesses. I know it's tight now.
Yeah, because his hair appointment thing is just based at appointment only, open certain days for the haircut. Not a lot of traffic out there for the haircut. I don't see a whole lot for this.
Mike, you
As long as it has no issues relative to what they're gonna try to permit in the future, though.
yeah, you said-
Because they still gotta come back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be
Still
no
gotta come back to
alcohol.
the jury.
Right, that's right. All right, so entertain a motion for the exemption, motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Diaz, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. Anything else? Motion adjourned by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Palmville, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
We'll call to order the regular meeting of the Assumption Parish Police Jury for Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. Let the record reflect all members are present. Please rise for our prayer to be followed by the pledge. God, who teaches us by sending the light of the Holy Spirit into our hearts, grant that by the light of that Spirit, right judgment may be ours, and that we may ever find joy in his guidance. Amen.
Pledge the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any corrections to the minutes that were sent to you for July 23rd, 2025? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve those minutes. Motion by Mr. Nakam, second by Mr. Carter. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment period. This time we accept public comment for any item on the agenda.
Antoine Temple, 149 Home Run Park. This is, under the Drainage Committee, number 6, right? This is to you. Discussed, the workflow on the public works thing. And I heard what you said about the mechanism you all gonna start using as far as which projects get seen for this or work for this or whatever. I want you to know. I was in the middle of a project behind my house and had a man on a machine, had money allocated to it for manpower hours and money for the rental of the machine. All of a sudden, I lost that. Rusty was gone. Heard he had to go train a few people. That's all right. Things like that come up. But I want this. Tired of hanging on a limb. I need this to get finished. Been pulling on this 11 years.
So the rental machine broke several times, so we returned,
Understand that. Understand that.
and we will be returning, sir.
You know, okay, will that be soon?
Yes.
That's what I need to hear, soon. You know, done. I want you to come in 27 or something, you know?
No.
All right, soon, all right? And, we got a little bit left in the back. They Roy to get all the way to the back there with about the 1,200 feet with the farmers.
Right, we're gonna have assistance with the, that's for last time.
Yeah, he said that he's scheduling that right now.
Right.
Oh, that's good. I just need a total result for this, you understand? Since we had the money and we had the manpower and we had the machine. I just needed a dedicated yes.
Oh, yeah, we're coming back.
Thank you much.
Yes.
Any other public comment? Last call. Next item, Drainage Committee report, Sarah Pineville.
Sir, the drainage committee meeting was held this afternoon at 4 o'clock. All members were present besides Mr. Patterson. We had an approval to move forward with the Monterey Drainage Project. We, no action was taken on moving forward, removing the trees in the Lower Texas Canal. No, that's not right. So we had a bid date of 9/19 on the Lower Texas Canal, right, Joe?
8/27 and 9/19 on the Monterey Drainage Project.
Okay. All right. No action on to extend the Monterey drainage to Fertility Lane. We'll approve the final acceptance of Parish Street.
So both items 3 and 4 we'll take up after,
No, we did it. Oh, well, Jeff we're gonna do that in a regular meeting.
yes.
Item number 5, to approve the culvert replacements, the overages for the A, B, C, and D. And we discussed the workflow in public works with the parish manager. Present this all in form of a motion.
Motion for the Drainage Committee report, Mr. Pineville. Second by Mr. Carter, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, so we had items 3 and 4 that were moved to the regular meeting. Item 3 was request approval to extend the Monterey drainage to Fertitta Lane and change bad culverts. What action do we have on that in the regular meeting?
Nothing.
No, item
We're
three.
looking for an engineer to do
No
all
action.
that.
Yeah, no action.
Item three, with no action, number four was regular meeting.
Yeah, I had a note for both of them.
I was looking for an engineer to do this, and I can't get him, the ones I want, so. You know,
Well, the reason why I asked to go back for discussion on Fatita, because we were actually supposed to go look at some of those culverts today. We were just unable to because he had to go to a meeting. So it was not that those culverts were not gonna be looked at or created a project or be able to be replaced. We just did not make it to the location today. I just want to clarify that.
So you
had
will
a
be
meeting.
following up with Mr.
Yes, sir, I
Berger.
will.
Request approval to consider final acceptance of the Parish Street Drainage Project.
Yeah, we had it on several agendas and, finally got to talk with the, DOTD. And when the project was finished, the, DOTD did go out with the, prior, parish manager and everything was good. Well, since then, we had somewhat of a failure was what was not the scope of the project, so I really don't have a leg to stand on there, so I'm defined, I have some funds to, make that repair, and I got Brian get some estimates on maybe some sheet pile and, possible a couple of culverts, which I don't think, he gonna give me some options, so. So, if the previous parish manager wouldn't have said it was good, I think I might have a leg to stand on, but at the end of the day, I'll make the motion to approve final acceptance and just move on.
Wasn't there an issue with the project equipment being parked close to the edge that caused some of the collapse?
You know, at that time, no. After the fact, we went after the fact and moved some stuff, so I'm not saying we did it, you follow me, but it's possible. We went, was real wet. We went that night. I don't think your machine did it.
No,
I don't think it did, but,
I don't think that's what it was. We went through like a really wet couple of months. And that's when we had some failure. So it's possible that it was done when DOTD was there. And then you didn't see the failure until the wet month that came around.
right. So at the time that the project was finished, it all looked good and fine and dandy, and the failure came out.
We did do a lot of good the other day. We removed a lot of material from inside the bulkhead. So I don't believe you have any danger of some type of, catastrophe happening that it caves in until you fix it.
Right. And maybe just 20, 30 feet maybe of, maybe some,
Right, some cheap piles.
cheap piles, something like that, so. I move forward.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Nakane to approve final acceptance of Parish Street Drainage Project. Second by Mr. Alcorn. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is Personnel Committee Report, Chairman Diaz.
Personnel Committee met at 4:19. All members were present except for Mr. Nakane. We approved the 7 days of FMLA leave for administrative assistant, event planner. We ratified the hiring of a custodian effective 8/4/2025 at a grade 1 step 28.5. Bring forward table. I'll present this all in the form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Diaz,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakane. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Finance Committee Report, Finance Committee met at 4:19. Mr. Nakane was absent at the beginning of the meeting, but did appear during the meeting. We approved the list of bills submitted through August 8th, 2025. We approved for the OSEP Director and Assistant to attend the Louisiana Emergency Management Conference, October 20th to 23rd, an estimated cost of $1,100. We authorized the President to sign the fiscal year 2025 EMPG funding agreement in a total of $51,070.89. We authorize the President to sign fiscal year 2025 SHSP funding agreement of $17,221.18. We approved the cost for the appraisal in the amount of $500 and the cost of the survey not to exceed $2,500 for consideration of the purchase of the property at 712 St. Mary Street, Napoleonville. We tabled the maintenance contracts for the jury room meeting Zoom equipment. And we approved the amended budgets for 2025. Entertain a motion.
Motion to accept your report.
Motion by Mr. Nakane,
Second.
second by Mr. Diaz. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Road and Bridge Committee Report. Chairman Alcorn.
Road and Bridge Committee met this afternoon. All members were present. 2 items on the agenda. We approved the recommendations from the engineer on the road overlay program and allowed him to move forward. We also approved to send a letter to DOTD for the resurface of LA 1010 from LA 1011, half of a mile past East Little Texas Road. I'll give you these two items in the form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Alcorn,
Second.
second by Mr. Mathern, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Engineering Grants Committee report, Chairman Nakane.
All righty, all members are present. First item was, update from GIS Engineering concerning Jordan Moore Street Drainage Project. Bertram Ville Drainage Project, which we, I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna do that, do the change order that in order. But we did, Belrose Lane Drainage Project, Plottville Drainage Project. We request and approve final change order number 3 for the Plottville Drainage Project. And authorize the president and secretary to sign all necessary documents. We had an update from the Planet Design Group, Gerald Street Levy Project, and we had
Authorize the exemptions.
authorized exemption for the litigation banks. Also had an update on rent levies. We had update from Infinity Engineering and project start date August 25th or 8th, he said. Update from the Special Program Director, request approval of change order number 2 for Bertrandville outfall cleaning and snagging phase 2 with current code added 21 days, calendar days to the contract and authorized president to sign. Request approval of substantial completion for Bertrand drainage outflow and authorized president to sign. Request and approve Reliability Drainage Project contract with GIS in the amount of $86,290 pending legal review and authorized the president to sign. Requested approval of CEA with FPC for Grant Park Planning and Construction and authorized president to sign. Request approval for amendment number 1 for the Constant Canal Project with GIS in the amount of $473,611 and authorize the president to sign. Request approval of engineering contract for Bayou St. Vincent with GIS for 110-525 pending legal review and authorized president to sign. Request approval of amendment number 1 for Plottville Drainage Project contract with GIS in the amount of not to exceed $7,000 for Davis Bacon related service and authorize the president to sign pending cost analysis. Request authorization to re-advertise for Jordan Moore Street Project RFQs. Update from South Central Planning. We had some discussion from our grants coordinator on that, but update on Ag Center Roof Project. Update on Courthouse Renovation Project, and we will advertise a special meeting for August 20th at 1:30. Request approval to advertise for RFQs for engineering and architectural service for the Courthouse Renovation Project. The OCD grant, we had an update on Shell Beach Boat Launch, and we canceled the contract with CJ Savoy, and we'll start, re-advertising for phase 1.
We gotta wait for the scope amendment.
Wait for scope amendment.
Then he can get into a contract again.
There we go. Request approval of letter of no objection for, Atmos Energy Corporation. We approve, a 5.5 foot hardship variance on north side property line at 743 Highway 1. We request preliminary approval for manufactured home park at 131 Ben Street, 126 Pike Street. We request exemption at 5490 Highway 1, the point of for ordinance chapter 26, section 2660. Present all that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Nakane, second by Mr. Alcorn, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item, Mr. Michael St. Romain, Fairport Bell River Natural Gas. Right. No action on that item. Discuss partnership with Communities Unlimited, Edward Anthony and Constance White, FEMA.
Good evening, everyone. I am Constance Anderson White. I am the Community Assistance RSF assigned to Disaster 4817 in response to Hurricane Francine. Thank you all for allowing us to be before you this evening. I have had the opportunity to meet with Ms. Tawana and, Mr. LeBlanc before, several months ago. And I apologize for taking so long to get here to meet with you all. But we just wanted to come here tonight as we discuss, transition of this disaster back to the state and, what it's gonna look like moving forward. And I will turn things over to the FDRO, Mr. Edward Anthony, excuse me. And then I will discuss what, Communities Unlimited has to offer.
Right, good afternoon, everyone. As stated, I am Trey Anthony. I'll be the lead for interagency recovery coordination. Typically in these events, I know, in Louisiana, we're always familiar with some of the larger programs, IA, that direct funding that's going to the individual residents or public assistance, those large funding dollars that are going out for our public businesses and to recover those structures of mitigation, those large drainage projects. IRC's role in FEMA, we work in between those Stafford Act programs to provide support where there's still an unmet need. So if there's a project or some type of shortfall that's being, that was discovered via IA or via PA, we coordinate within FEMA first, and then our role or responsibility is to coordinate the federal family. So bringing it to the table, depending upon the need, the 6 RSFs, community assistance being one of those, working directly with local governments. You have EDA for commerce or businesses that are not coming back online. You have just a multitude, HUD for housing, natural and cultural resources for parks and recreation, so on and so forth. But it is 6 RSFs. But for this particular event, not catastrophic, but we still went out and we did our due diligence. We've gone across, and as Constance stated, we met early on with the EM. I think the parish president was there as well. But overall for this event, we've discovered 15 recovery challenges. With those, we're working to identify potential funding for those impacts that we found or shortfalls, unmet needs that we found in Francine. We've developed 15 strategies to turn over to the state. So it's not, for our role, it's not always immediate. But for this particular event, we do have some early wins, and that's why we're here today to discuss Communities Unlimited. Constance will give you more details on Communities Unlimited and the partnership and what all they could provide. But as for IRC, as stated, we work to define those recovery needs and objectives and to make sure that we can provide a more holistic recovery. So I'll yield there and have a discussion and provisions for what we think the Communities Unlimited, the support that could be provided here in Assumption Parish, and take any questions following Constance giving more information about Communities Unlimited. Thank you.
The mic don't work.
It doesn't?
No, it's in the roof.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just speak up, can't
There you go.
Okay, I got it, yeah. Some of the needs that were recorded as we met with Mr. LeBlanc and Ms. Tawana included grant writing support, the need for grant writing support, water infrastructure repair, volunteer training, and support to address lingering housing repair needs are some of the larger issues that we recorded during our listening session here. Communities Unlimited, as you'll see on your handout here, and of course I will not read word for word, but it is a private multi-state nonprofit rural development organization. Their work spans across 7 states, with Louisiana being one of them. They are able to provide assistance, technical assistance in the areas of water infrastructure, rebuild, and updates. They're also able to assist with training, along with some on-site educational workshops and access to publications and financing, some of which are low interest grants and some of which are low interest loans and some of which are grants. It is also important to know that you will hear the name Communities Unlimited again, as they are working through the approval process to effectively market, package and support applications for USDA's Single Family Repair Loan and Grants program that will address those unmet needs stemming from the Hurricane Francine impact. They are a free resource. And we found it best to come in today. I believe Mr. Alex Goodyear was supposed to be here back in June. He was unable to make it, but we did not want to transition without giving you an opportunity to learn more about this organization, seeing that they, will be in your community with the intent to assist. And I think I made that as short as sweet as possible without reading word for word what's listed before you. So I will turn it back over for any questions that you all may have about what that looks
I
like.
have a question. You referenced transition. So can you explain transition from to what transition?
So here I work at the Lero office here in Baton Rouge. So for an event, you have deployed staff that actually comes into a particular state. They may be coming from out of state, but I live here. I live in Baton Rouge. I work in Baton Rouge. So I'm a steady state resident of Baton Rouge. So that's, I guess you say, internal talk of people that are moving into a particular area to work and to provide support. And at some point, they're going to leave out. But as far as the event, as an open event where you actually have disaster work that's actually going on, we are in the process now of the IRC mission being complete, and then more so being about the things that we found and the strategies versus still looking for new damages or doing some of the initial work that actually is like the scoping of a mission. So we've had our mission, we've done our due diligence, gone out and spoken in multiple parishes, multiple cities, towns, done the research and gone back to the federal family. And at this point, we've identified, as Constance was saying, some funding that may be available, technical resources for like your recovery planning or technical support, knowledge, or increasing your educational base for future events. So now it's more so time to do the implementation versus where we started with just discovery and what's actually going on, touching base in the local communities, making sure that, because again, everything is implemented on the ground. The state is managing things. FEMA, we're just, out coming in to support. So basically that support for this smaller event is transitioning to the strategy implementation. And that won't just be for Hurricane Francine, but any of the other strategies that we have that we're working long-term.
So how are you all connected with FEMA?
I'm a FEMA employee.
We both are.
I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah,
I'm not understanding
The language.
Communities Unlimited is a new branch of FEMA now?
No. I'll back up a tad bit. So that's what I was saying. I think I may not have landed the plane, but in FEMA, Stafford Act programs, large programs, IA, I'm sure you all have heard of IA, your FEMA check for housing, funding that comes on pretty early on. Individual assistance, correct. PA, mitigation, all of those. I'm IRC. I'm the lead in IRC. So interagency recovery coordination. So we work with multiple agencies. It's FEMA program areas, the IA, the PA, and then outside of FEMA. So just a list of those are, EDA or Army Corps of Engineers, DOI, Department of Interior, Health and Social Services. So it's really dependent upon the event and what you found. So when early on in Francine, we didn't hear about catastrophic impacts. So for that, the only activations I had were the Corps of Engineers. We wanted to come out. We heard some potential impacts to levees. So the Corps was out also for any debris and channels and things of that sort. We also activated EDA for any potential economic impact, businesses that may be trying to come back online or that were shut down, just to do the initial investigation. And I also activated USDA rural development. So they're not a recovery support function, but they're a part of the federal family that was mission assigned. So through those 3 mission assignments, we've been working since, I guess the IRC kickoff was in January. So we've been working since January to define any unmet needs that is not being taken care of by your IAs, by your PAs, by mitigation, that's in some other type of funding mechanism to bring other support from within the federal family. So that's our entire, role, to kind of work in between the gaps, not to get in front of any other program, but to get out into the community and see where there may be shortfalls, and if there is any technical support, be it a resource like Communities Unlimited. So our role there would be, hey, we've identified that this nonprofit, through an agreement and funding that is provided to them through another mechanisms, can provide support to a local community. That's our role. We would bring them to the table as we're trying to introduce them informally as a potential resource, just like we will be working with USDA Rural Development, where they actually have dollars that through their process will be distributed throughout Louisiana, throughout the impact area. So our role is to be a, somewhat of a bridge, somewhat of a liaison to other resources that are not available through Stafford Act programs.
So who you be reaching out to in our community?
We've met with Mr. LeBlanc. Constance has had communications with Ms. Tawana. In that earlier meeting, the parish president was there as well. But Constance's role is more so the local meetings. What was that? Was it like a special projects meeting that
we had over the phone?
Public outreach, like public
Yeah.
outreach.
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
Yeah, so, but yeah, with that, that was the initial engagements that we had here. A small staff, but we tried to spread out, hit most of the IA and PA declared parishes, and from the direction that we received from the state as well. So there are some communications that are going out about unmet needs. So we identified or used that as basically a statement of work, and further identified or tried to verify those findings from Louisiana Office of Community Development.
So we can expect to be approached by Communities Unlimited.
If you want that support, we're bringing them to you, and just want to let you know that, hey, it's not through a work plan. They'll define what it is that they will be working on. Constance can speak more so about the actual things that she discussed. She had more meetings with Assumption Parish than I have, but as far as IRC and what it is that we do, I just want to step in and kind of make sure that we were on the same page there, that we were hoping to coordinate support for you all, a resource that you could use free of charge, for recovery planning, and some of the other things that Constance listed out that were needs, and I'll yield.
Yes, so their contact information is listed on the one pager that you have. Depending on what projects you have in front of you and what your need is, I can assist you in making that connection. The USDA support is already underway. And they will decide, or we'll all work together to decide the best way to market that in your communities. Because I do believe there are citizens who will be interested in receiving those dollars to help complete repairs.
And one quick statement on the USDA piece. So through a disaster supplemental, USDA has funding coming to Louisiana for single-family housing repair. It has to be rural parishes, and it has other eligibility requirements, but there's going to be an outreach and engagement component for that, where they're going to try to distribute, but they're going to distribute those funds coming up shortly. So with that, there's going to be outreach and engagement and going out to those impacted in rural parishes that meet that eligibility requirement, and trying to get that to the community where, where it can be best served. So in a similar fashion, hoping that Communities Unlimited could be that resource. We wanted to denote that that's actual disaster supplemental funding, and this is a technical resource that's providing, technical and planning support.
Sounds good.
My question, and then the questions we had before in the meeting, would any type of grant that would come, that's a match, correct? If there be any type of grant, or would it be 100% funded?
Yeah, so this would be direct to homeowners.
Okay,
So I guess
it'd be IA.
Yeah, so it's just like IA funding. So we've communicated with FEMA IA, but they're not to her earlier point about, being deployed or not, they don't have that deployed staff where they're doing like the call outs and all of that different resource center, type of capacity that they have in a larger event. On this smaller event, especially this late in the game. But we're trying to define that process and the best mechanism to, one, get the word out. I guess one way is how we are now coming straight to the community. And ultimately getting a fair process, because it, that's not gonna, go very far when you're talking about, I think the damage estimate number for FEMA verified loss above 3,000 was probably talking about, eligible homes was somewhere around 5,000 across all parishes. So that dollar amount allocated is not, gonna be sufficient for that full repair. So it's a, it's a process that we have to work through. But yeah, Mr. LeBlanc, I think you also, said early on that we are here that we need to come before the police jurors and make sure that they were on board. Constance has been speaking with Communities Unlimited about their potential work plan. Do you want to tie that in of how they're gonna line out what they want to work on potentially and how they could, get further connected?
They have not submitted their work.
Oh, they
plan.
have?
Yeah, they have not submitted a work plan to us yet. If you all would like to further discuss your needs, I can take that back to them and ask them to include that in their work plan, and we can bridge the gap there. But, there are several ways, if you are in need of additional support with applying for, funding through grants or low interest loans or whatever, that is something they're able to support. I know you have a fairly active community volunteer organization here. Ms. Carter just called me the other day about someone with a small business. And so they can provide training to those people in the event that there's another impact to your community. You will be better prepared. So there are several different resources that are available through this organization. It's just, it's up to you to identify what your need looks like and what you would allow them to come in and do for this community. And again, I am willing to assist with connecting you all further.
Yeah, I think we just need to have a little discussion with them to let them know what they have to offer for us. Now, I understand what you're saying, but we need to hear directly from them, and have a little back and forth with them as to what our needs really are and what their services are to offer, because the one pager doesn't really give us a good idea of their scope of services and how they can help us.
Absolutely. And I do understand that we just did not want to send them out here cold, and we
Sure.
are in the direct line of fire, if you will, in bringing them forth. So, this is us, doing a light introduction, soft introduction, yeah, to this organization.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you got it, you got information to contact.
Yeah, we've been in contact before. Like I said, it's been about 5 months since she had contacted us. So I kind of thought it was dead, but they're here in the day. But most of it is public awareness and public outreach, where they notify the public, and train and make them aware of things that are available to the public. As far as for parish stuff, anything they would help assist us with, it would be a match. It'd be the same thing as dealing with regular public assistance, 75-25. So the Corps had approached me about maybe some canals, but they said it was gonna be a match. It's gonna be, same thing as anything else that we dealing with our own expenses to get stuff done.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Mark.
Next item, summary of trip to tour Vanguard Renewable Facilities, Mr. Antoine Temple.
Got a couple of generic questions, gentlemen. The delegation. First, I want to know what types of questions you all ask. Second, what did you see? Third, did you assess what your assessment was and what kind of conclusion you come to?
Okay. I know I kind of spoke to you privately already. I don't know if y'all want to speak and I'll clean it up after. Or...
I mean,
Yeah, I'll go. I mean, it was an interesting trip. Didn't know what to expect whatsoever when I got there. Of course, what I did see was, facilities. I guess I was most impressed with the, deep packaging facility. Uh, uh, with that, where all this waste comes in and when they separate the waste, from the packaging and, how they separate it and how they ship it back to the site to recycle it and make the methane gas and the fertilizer. That was good. We talked to a farmer that his facility was next to his farm was right next to the facility. And that dude was really impressed, of course. He was extremely excited with the partnership he had with them also. Naturally, I put up there with smelling, I mean, it was, that's your biggest concern, and, yeah, I ain't seen no issue with that whatsoever on the sites we visit, From what I understood, this process been going on in Europe for years. And they try to bring it here to the States, and they have several facilities here. And I was impressed at the end of the day. I'm gonna ask a bunch of questions, and right offhand, I remember the exact question, but there was quite a few questions that was asked. But at the end of the day, I can see a benefit to the parish, and I can see that it won't have an impact on you far as the facility itself, far as being a bad impact or negative impact, I guess the word I would say, That's it, about it in a nutshell,
I was, just like Jeff, I was very impressed. I was glad that they took us to the first facility that they built along with the farm, that's adjacent to the farm. And see how they started, where they started from. Then we were taken to other facilities that were state of the arts. Just like, Jeff just talked about, from the deep packaging. We talk about the smell. When we went on the outside, you didn't smell nothing. You saw everything that Vanguard talked about from the, when they open the doors, how there's a, what's that sucking the air in?
An air curtain.
The air curtain and you're out there and it's just
when
like
you
being
walk
home.
inside, you smelled.
You smelled it when you're inside, yes.
And outside, and they was unloading the truck when we got there, and you didn't smell anything.
Yeah. I talked about water capacity, which would not be an issue. With making the methane gas, I think the question was asked, if they make too much, what would happen? We would burn it off, things of that nature. I mean, it was a very, very, very interesting trip. Very interesting. And I agree with Jeff 100%. I think it's going to be a benefit to this parish. And I don't see any negative impacts on Home Run Park or even the ones that are closer to the back, the Mobile area. I'm excited about it. But very, very, very interesting process, period. Very interesting.
Now, a week or so ago, I had the opportunity to meet with some DNR and DEQ representatives. And I told them about I was taking this trip to Massachusetts. And talking about the facility. He said, look, if Massachusetts allowed that facility to be built, they are more stringent than any place in the country. So they'll walk the walk there and they'll walk the line and they'll be very strict. So they let that company come in and do that. He said, man, they find the same guidelines that they had to do up there to come here. Jeff, y'all good. And that was good to hear from the state guys, knowing that how strict they are up there. If they gotta follow those guidelines, hopefully our guidelines are the same. I was impressed with that on a local level.
So we toured 3 different facilities. 2 were anaerobic digesters that were tied to dairy farms. And the third was the depackaging facility that Jeff mentioned. Their depackaging facility ships their slurry that they make to their digesters away from there. So they don't have the digester on site where the depackaging facility is. The depackaging facility was, actually, when we turned into it, I didn't expect it to be there because it's in the middle of commercial developments along the major highway. It's basically 100 feet off the highway, went through the gate and the building was there. You just didn't see it from the highway. It was just off the highway, but adjacent to it was, just commercial developments, right? Not many houses right there, but it was on the main highway. The other 2 facilities were surrounded by rural houses. So we talked to them about, at the first one, they had issues with the smell whenever that one was built in 2017. And they came in and put in a carbon filtration system that took the air in their mixing tank, ran it through a carbon filter to remove the smell. And since they did that in 2018, they hadn't had any complaints from the neighbors. And at both their facilities, the depackaging and the digesters, they have similar air purification systems, for their workers and stuff. I think the couple of takeaways that I had was it made me realize how much food waste is available in driving distance for this facility, right? We were roughly 80 miles west of Boston. The material that they had didn't come from the city center of Boston that we had at that depackaging. That came from rural Massachusetts, right? And they received, I think they said 8 to 10 trucks a day for that area. And the volume of food that came in there was astounding, right? So, and they just told me that is available in our area too. That's why they're picking this area, right? So it keeps that material out of the landfill. Their company culture, I think, was something that really impressed me just from their safety aspect, and their, the care for the community around them, and the culture in that part of the country is different than the culture here when it comes to recycling and, renewable energy and those sorts of things. So it's a new concept for us to grasp here in Louisiana, but to hear them and their goal to have 0 material leave their facility and go to a landfill, they recycle nearly all packaging materials that come into their facility. So they just have almost 0 waste that goes to a landfill. And I think that's a positive for our area, but we're also talking about an area that has landfill capacity, right? There in the Northeast, they don't have landfill capacity, but there's no reason why that technology can't exist, here as well. So I did talk to them about if they, if a pipeline was down for maintenance. So the facility that they're proposing in this area is a combination of a depackaging facility and an anaerobic digester. So it would be all in one type complex. Their products would be fertilizer that would be spread in the fields and methane gas that would be compressed and introduced into the distribution network for the pipeline system. I was concerned about the compression portion of it. They said that is going to be outside of their fence line. The gas companies that they contract with will compress it to the pressure that they need to inject it into their pipeline system. So the compressor station itself won't be part of this facility. And just for looking at the volume, we're not talking about a very big compressor. The amount of gas that they produce is a minuscule amount of what's in the pipelines now. It's really not much, but it's economical to them because they can charge a premium for it because it's created by renewable methods.
You made some mention while they were here, guys speaking, about something about a possible pond in the back if need be, and I don't know, like a retention pond for something. I'm not
So
quite
they
sure.
did mention to us that the storage tanks that they had on the facility would be a similar size storage tanks that we would see here. They're foregoing the idea of an open lagoon, that they call it, because of the water table. So they're, because of that, they're going towards, and the tanks that we're talking about is what holds the digestate, they call it, that's the fertilizer product. what comes out of their digesters that's not methane. They filter out the solids, and the liquid that's left is the fertilizer-rich digestate that they would send
I
out.
hope
to
y'all
fields.
will do after this point is that at least they gotta get through the permit process, right?
Yes, they're in the permit process with the state right
In
now.
it, but they gotta get through it.
That's
right?
correct.
Yes.
Second thing, well, I hope y'all thinking about it is, you're gonna have to have some kind of DOT or something, put a turning lane or a light or something. That's gonna be a lot of congestion in that curve. You got the company right there with the cement trucks and with the dump trucks and all that. And then you add another 10 or 15 trucks, tractor trailers during the day. They said they'll operate in regular operating hours. I don't know if that meant 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, or 10 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I think it was.
One thing that was very impressive to say that that's a 24-hour facility that's definitely running. Their workforce capacity only works 8 hours a day. So those trucks are maybe coming in from 7 to 3, 7 to 4, or whatever. And then it's quiet over there. If anything goes down with that plant, they can look, it's gonna notify them on their laptops or their phone. That's why they wanna hire local people that are close. Cause if anything break down, they can go right there and take care of it. So it's gonna be, to say it's gonna be running, you're gonna pass by there maybe after 5, 6 o'clock, you ain't gonna see nobody there. That plant is steady producing.
Right.
If
So
it comes to flourishing, I want you to remember, Leroy, want some of them jobs.
we made that clear
Absolutely.
to them.
Oh, we made it clear. We made
We made
it
that
definitely
that we
clear.
want local.
All local.
So the other thing, I did have a follow-up call with TJC Group, who's the facilitator for this trip that we had. And told them there were a couple of things that I'd like to see from it, because it's not an aesthetically pleasing plant, right? It is a commercial facility. It's more of a commercial look than an industrial look, I would say. It does have the tanks. So I asked them to incorporate it in their plans, some sort of vegetation buffer, where they plant some trees or something around it to where it breaks up the view of the tanks and so forth, and they were very receptive to that. And they also expressed a willingness to help with DOTD and funding the infrastructure improvements for a turning lane and so forth into their facility. So they're willing to take on that. And the other thing is, I went through the visit last night with the Pankerville Fire Department to kind of let them know what they could expect. The only thing came out from that is they asked me to request that they put some fire hydrants down, because that stretch has a water line, but it doesn't have fire hydrants. Just to add some fire hydrants to protect their buildings in that
I think
area.
it's only a 6-inch line or something like that, huh?
Yeah, I think it's an 8-inch, but
Think it's 8, okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. So, but all in all, I was very skeptical going into it, and I think I left being really satisfied at more of the culture of the company and my trust that I can put in them to address issues that the laws don't require them to fix. That they are sensitive to the community's needs and willing to put their money there. Do y'all agree with that?
100%. Yep. They're all about the community. They say they are here to stay 20 years or more. They ain't going away. They're gonna live with us, they're gonna sleep with us. I mean, they're gonna be here.
We need the taxes.
Huh?
And we need the taxes.
They're here.
Appreciate it, thank
Yeah.
you.
Sir, thank you.
All right.
All right, next item, request approval to authorize for the president to sign the By Lewis Fire Protection District's boundary confirmation form. This is for the PIAL rating. Motion by Mr. Nakane. Second by Mr. Carter, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Table number 50.
Item 15 is tabled. Item 16, request approval to appoint Mr. Justin Pujol to Laverdale Recreation District as Ward 3 rep. Motion by Mr. Patero, second by Mr. Bro, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, I just need contact information.
Request approval to accept the high bid for the 2008 Dodge Ram 2500 3/4 ton truck, JJ Merchant, in the amount of $1,377.77.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Nakane,
Second.
second by Mr. Mathern. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Get it off that roll. Request approval to send a letter to Bayou Lafourche Levy Board, to open Constant Canal to Bayou Lafourche. Mr. Bro?
We had, I contacted Mr. Justin Ravelli. He's, executive guy with the Bayou Lafourche Freshwater District. And he told me we have to discuss this a little more, but, when I go to see him, he was at the doctor's office. He probably also had, so we'll put that on hold for right now.
Just for clarification, Mr. Bro,
Yeah.
I think you might wanna, redirect this to the Chapalaya levee basin. I did have a conversation, with Mr. Hendrick at the Lafourche levee basin. They don't cross their boundaries. Their boundaries, they run from the parish line north of LA 308, all of LA 70, all the way down 308 to the parish line in Labradorville. They don't cross over the bayou, right? So they wouldn't be able to assist you anyway. You would have to go through either Chapalaya or maybe the Bayou Freshwater District to help you out with that.
Yeah.
So you'd have to redirect. Yeah.
Alright, no action. Discuss changing the addressing and postal system in areas along parish lines. Bell Roads out of Donaldsonville, Labrador out of Thibodeau, and Bayou Lewis out of Morgan City.
Yeah, well, I've called Washington, the Postal Service, and said we have to do that individually here. So that's where we are right now. So I'm starting to, I'm digging a little bit to see where we headed with.
Mr. Coleman was very, very big on that. He was an advocate
I
of
talked to him
taxes leaving out of the parish. He was huge on that.
Farmers too. So, they were against it, but 30 years ago, I started this. And, they were against it because Thibodeau had a couple of cents less than here. And they were saving money, but deal by having that address.
So if that's set up because of the 911 system, if I dispatch somebody with my address, my zip code at Bell Rose, 911, it's gonna go to Tankerville Fire Department, or it's gonna go to Donaldsonville?
No, the 911 address is
That's a postal issue. 911 is a different issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a whole different issue.
Okay.
That's not, the way 911 setup is, we go with there's a grid system. And each address has a number that says what fire department to dispatch. It's an ESN number, emergency something number, where Pangu has their own number, and the boundary, they know each boundary, so when you call from Bell Rose, it's gonna send to Pangu. That's a postal issue. 911 addressing is a different issue for 911.
And so I did place a
Probably
call.
zip code too is involved, so it's just a matter of changing the zip code in Labrador. Now, Bayou Lewis would be different, you'll probably have to develop a zip code. And
So I
then also
contacted
postal service.
South Central Planning, Mr. Josh Manning. He's, it's gonna have to go back to the census tracts. And I'm sure that they're gonna be tied together as to why the postal zones are in certain census tracts and so forth. So, we're gonna have to get him involved in this to see, and probably ask them to take the lead on this. I
What was
think-
that now? Who you said?
South Central Planning,
Yeah.
yeah, Josh Manning.
Good job.
Right,
All right, that's it.
no other discussion on that item. Request approval to pick up unwanted trash in Ward 4.
I called the Lieutenant Governor's office, a couple of weeks ago, and they called me, yesterday. Told me they can't make it, but, Billy Nungas has kept hollering, we wanna keep the boot clean, you know, I said, well, you come work on our too. But, yeah, I have too much trash in the ward, it's been like that for years, and, we have to do something with it. And, I don't know anything, I've tried here locally, but nothing. And, so, maybe he can give some direction or help. I'll try again. He said he'll call me back.
Something that I've been made aware of that, they have now is these mobile surveillance towers. You know, it's a cement block, has a pole on it with cameras that are monitored. Away from there, the signal sent away. You know, and I think maybe we can look at getting a couple of these to deploy them in troublesome areas to try to cut down on some of the illegal dumping. You know, that might help. I know you want to pick up the trash, but we still got plenty of people dumping trash. I mean, the Bell Rose outfall, we pulled out, what, 40, 50 tires
Yeah.
out of that ditch? It was
Got some
ridiculous.
more now.
Oh, yeah.
And the more you have, if you have it in there, you will see more. You gotta clean it up, then put a sign. That one sign is $5,000 fine. And it's full all around.
Right, but Wildlife and Fisheries can enforce the gross littering, statutes that they have, but they need the proof, and, Ascension Parish has deployed these in the Modest area, and, basically what it did is it forced the dumpers to come to Assumption Parish.
Yeah.
They
got
got
it.
We know they coming to Bell Road.
So-
Got them
Oh,
out
they
in
staying.
Townsville,
Oh,
on the
man.
road, coming leading out to the cane fields. They have no trash over there now.
Right,
Yeah, they're over here now.
so that's something that we can maybe get some pricing on and see if that's a possibility for us to,
Might get a grant for that from our friends.
from the Lieutenant Governor's office, right?
Yeah. Keep it home clean.
All right. So you have enough, Mr. Bro?
That's it.
All right, request approval of the first phase of the derelict structure procedure for dwelling at 330 Bayou Trunk Hill Road.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Bro. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of the first phase of the derelict structure procedure for dwelling located at 729 Shell Beach Road.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mathern,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakane. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of the first phase of the derelict structure procedure for dwelling located at 172 Felicia Street.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Patero,
Second.
second by Mr. Pondville. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of the first phase of the derelict structure procedure for dwelling located at 120 Peterville Lane.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakane. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of the second phase of the derelict structure procedure for dwelling at 200 Shell Beach Road.
I'd like to put this back on the next agenda, give another 2 weeks. Next agenda.
Just table.
Are they working on it?
Yeah, but they're not quicker. I'm gonna talk to them tomorrow. We're good. So give them another 2 weeks.
Okay, well, please place it on the
I
next.
gotta
agenda.
go for bids and all. Let's just wait 2 more weeks.
Next item, request approval of the following occupational license applications: Concierge Cajun Catering, LLC Laverdeville, and Cajun Jar Company, Pierreport. Motion by Mr. Bro,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakane. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of the following liquor license application: Concierge Cajun Catering, 2720 Highway 1, Laverdeville. Motion by Mr. Bro, second by Mr. Nakane. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. And, liquor license application for SAS Alumni Reunion, 6051 Common Street, Pankerville. Yes. Motion by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Alcorn. I don't think the voting on that. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Any other items? There are no motion adjourned by Mr. Nakane,
Thank you.
second by Mr. Pondville. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? We adjourn.
Mark, who that is?
That's call from the radio. That's one assistant from
I'm gonna bring it down. It's up there.
So-
I'm gonna get it in the agenda.
First they called me up. I actually give another week or two for them to clean up. They got.
Oh, you don't like, sound like you don't like.
That's the very.
Turn the mic, turn the mics off, turn the mics off.
Let's